best-selling book, Brief History of Time. He was 76 years old, paralyzed for decades by ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Fox News, fair and balanced.
25 degrees. We have some clouds this morning at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Mayor Emanuel is blasting Governor Rauner this morning for vetoing a bill that would require already tightly regulated gun retailers to get state licenses. He says the plan is good political cover, but Rauner says likely will not stop someone who shouldn't have a gun from getting a gun. Rauner arguing the measure would hurt small business without improving public safety. Mayor Emanuel responded, accusing the governor of putting his primary election ahead of public safety. Some students around Chicagoland will be walking out of class today as part of a national effort aimed at preventing school shootings and calling for tighter gun control. School districts in the area are ready, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
The idea for a 17-minute walkout was prompted by the students from the Florida high school where a gunman killed 17 students and staff members. Chicago Public Schools have given their tacit approval to the protest, while many Catholic schools plan prayer sessions and discussions. In the suburbs, some schools are designating walkout areas to ensure student safety, and others have scheduled speakers, moments of silence, and other activities. A few schools, though, are saying students face discipline if they join the walkout. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Romeoville has scheduled a week's worth of activities, but administrators in District 225 are warning parents that students who walk out of class will be considered absent without an excuse while they're gone. Protesters are still looking for more answers after a woman was shot and killed this week by an Elgin police officer along the Jane Addams toll road. Authorities say DeCynthia Clements was armed with a knife when an officer shot her and a fire was started inside of her vehicle Monday. Elgin Police Chief Jeff Swoboda told demonstrators yesterday that a person will probably get shot if they come at an officer with a knife. An investigation is underway following a large crash on a bridge over the Des Plaines River in Joliet. The accident involved 11 vehicles that happened last night on the McDonough Street Bridge. Road conditions are believed to be a factor. Bail remains at $1 million for a former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach. She is accused of sexually assaulting 3 students. A Lake County judge denied a motion yesterday to reduce bail for Corey Beard. Prosecutors say she admitted to having sex with 3 students. Activists are calling for a new Chicago Police Oversight Commission. While gathered at City Hall yesterday, the Grassroots Alliance for Police Accountability revealed a proposal for a commission with the power to fire the city's police superintendent and set department policy. Mayor Emanuel did not say whether he supports the newly proposed board. A man accused of kicking an Illinois child welfare worker to death last year is dropping his mental health defense. Lawyers for Andrew Sucher last week withdrew their request for a mental fitness exam. Investigators in Carroll County say Sucher savagely attacked and beat DCFS caseworker Pamela Knight when she tried to take his child into protective custody last fall. Chicago sports, the Bears are giving Mitchell Trubisky some new weapons. According to several different reports, they intend to sign wide receiver Taylor Gabriel to a core that already has been bolstered by Allen Robinson. Chicago will also sign tight end Trey Burton from Philadelphia to a 4-year contract. Bears also re-signed corner Prince Amukamara. While DeAndre Jordan had 29, his Clippers beat the Bulls 112-106 at the UC. Cubs Cactus winners over the Giants. Chicago continues spring play against the Royals while the White Sox take on the Brewers. Blackhawks back on the ice tonight against the Jets. The news, a service of Al Pomani Ford. Stop. Before you buy your new car, you must visit Al Pomani Ford now. Truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived. Everything priced to sell quickly. Al Pomani Ford is at 25th and North Avenue, Melrose Park. 5:06, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
Hi, welcome to the Pier 1 Spring Dining and Easter Sale.
Oh, thank you.
There's some amazing deals here on Easter decor, beautiful spring dinnerware, table settings. Now, if you have any questions, please ask someone who works here. I'm just shopping.
Oh.
Table runners, come with me.
A lot of people are getting caught up in the Pier 1 Spring Dining and Easter Sale. Right now, get up to 30% off dinnerware, drinkware, dining tables and chairs, and Easter decor. Give your home that unique look you want for spring and save up to 30% now at Pier 1 Imports through March 31st.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
5:09 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center for us this morning. Here's Jim Telemonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. We do have in northwest Indiana some delays on 8094 westbound. Just past Indianapolis Boulevard to Calumet Avenue. Got a truck crash there blocking the right lane. May find some slick spots here and there. Overnight road work has cleared, which was affecting 390 eastbound, the exit to inbound Eisenhower and southbound 53. That ramp has just reopened, and the Eisenhower ramps to the outbound ride have just reopened as well. They'd been closed downtown. The other expressways and tollways are looking good at this hour. Starting today on the Tri-State Tollway in northern Lake County, 2 right lanes will be closing northbound from 132 to 173, and work is scheduled from now until 2 this afternoon. And southbound, 2 left lanes will be closed from the state line to 132. That starts at 8 this morning, continues till 4 this afternoon. Traffic is a service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Firestone Complete Auto Care has got more than 4,000 ASC certified technicians. Keep cars running newer, longer. Come in for the Epic Sales Event. Get $100 off any purchase of $500 or more. Whenever you drive a Firestone. Restrictions, exclusions apply. Visit driveafirestone.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny to partly cloudy and milder. High 47. Tonight, mainly clear, low 29. Sunshine tomorrow, high 43. Mainly clear night tomorrow night, low 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
23 at O'Hare, 25 along Chicago's lakefront, 22 this morning in Aurora and at Midway. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Lou Bridges Show. Get foreclosure defense solutions that may save your home. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So that special election in Pennsylvania 18, still too close to call. This morning, Saccone and Lamb, or Lamb the Sham, as he's now known by President Trump.
Well, Lamb the Sham wasn't paying too much attention to numbers. I mean, there's a 579 vote count difference between the two and about, 3,000 absentee ballots that have yet to be counted.
Right.
But last night he claimed victory at around 12:05 a.m.
People are so tired of the shouting on TV and in our politics. It's amazing what happens when you're in a room with real people who have real aspirations and real troubles. There's lots of ideas. There's no angry shouting. Our job in Congress is to attack the problems, not each other.
Did you hear that? The person yelling, "Come together!
Come together, man!
I'm with you, bro! I love you, man!"
Okay.
And Saccone, he's not throwing in the towel, not a concession speech.
We're still fighting the fight. It's not over yet. We're going to fight all the way to the end. I never give up. My first race went into the night and we won that. And my second race was the same way. I mean, we're kind of used to this now, right? So, that's it. We're not giving up.
I want to get the 3 for 3 guy that just yelled out with the come together guy. Maybe they could arm wrestle for it. So he'd have to win just under 2/3 of the remaining absentee ballot votes to win. That seems, although the report is that they're from predominantly Republican territory, so I don't know that district well enough to comment more intelligently about it than that. So maybe it's possible. And maybe the upshot of this is, even though Trump won the district by 20 points, that, as our friend Selena Zito from Pittsburgh, writes for the Washington Examiner and other outlets, suggested that this is not much of a harbinger for what may or may not happen in November. Even if Democrats did take the House, it was it all was written in the stars. Yeah, as soon as Lamb beat Saccone.
Well, it's a strange congressional district because it's going away.
Yeah,
so
right.
Because they've gerrymandered or whatever, they've redistricted, and that congressional district's not going to exist anymore.
Right.
So, but it is strange because the Democratic candidate Lamb, what's Lamb the Sham? He distanced himself pretty much from the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I mean, he distanced himself from Nancy Pelosi. He wouldn't, he ran this on his own as a moderate Democrat.
That's right. And that's also important because there's, basically no such thing except someone impersonating such a thing like Conor Lamb was doing. Maybe he is. I don't know. I tend to be skeptical. But in terms of Democrats across the country, they're not going to run like Conor Lamb ran, not criticizing President Trump. I mean, you heard from Selena Zito cover the no mention of Trump. He's not anti-gun. He's not talking about taking away people's guns in the wake of Parkland. So a very different matchup and very different tenor of a campaign at the congressional level than you'll see in Senate races and congressional races around the country.
Did you see him last night? I mean, he looked like he was pledging a fraternity. I mean, he had on, he looked like a Republican. He was, very buttoned down, very professional.
I mean, look, he served our country, as far as I know, honorably in the Marine Corps, so respect his service, and if he wins fair and square, he wins fair and square. It's just the real story is less this race and then what kind of the Beltway punditocracy is going to try and make of this race on both sides. And so
I think what helped Lamb, though, was President Trump's visit, because President Trump not only gave him a nickname, but he also said that he's a Republican. He's really a Republican running as a Democrat.
Well, Lamb the Sham is not necessarily helpful.
Well, that was just Trump being Trump. But him saying that he's, and really he's a Democrat, but he's really a Republican.
Well, right. So he's essentially saying, no, I think he was saying he's pretending to be a Republican, but remember, he's a Democrat. Like, this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think that was the point.
Maybe it came out wrong.
But I mean, don't forget that you had you had in the RCP average, you had Lamb up a couple of points within the margin of error, but up a couple of points going into last night. So the fact that this is coming down to a handful of votes is not a particular surprise.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, it's a bulldog, Dan, and it's dead. What in the world happened to United Airlines? The flight attendant, what was she thinking? And I think she should be charged with a crime. But first, here's your forecast. Today, sunny to partly cloudy. It's going to get milder. 26 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 47 degrees. Tonight, a low of 29. And for Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 43. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway just past Army Trail. Watch out for a stall blocking the left lane. No delays to report on the Edens, Kennedy, the Eisenhower right now, and overnight road work in downtown Chicago at the Burn Circle has cleared. The Eisenhower ramps to the outbound Ryan have reopened. There is work on the outbound Ryan at 87th with 3 left lanes. 8094 westbound traffic is stop and go from Indianapolis Boulevard to Calumet Avenue. Crash blocking the right lane. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, I got a great night's sleep last night. Oh, yeah. All thanks to MyPillow, because I can conform the fill to, contour my neck and back so I get the best sleep ever. I wake up feeling refreshed, no headaches or neck pain. And right now we still have the 50% off the 4-pack. Not talking about Dan's abs. I'm talking about the best deal available. 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. It's made in America, washable, dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Do something for yourself. Get a good night's sleep for the rest of your life if you get a MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Barry Sterner, founder of your #1 home mortgage lender, Townstone Financial. I continue to get calls and emails from homeowners whose interest rates are above 4%. Please do yourself a favor. Take 1 minute. Dial 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com and let us give you some no closing cost refinance options today. No closing costs means no hidden costs. I guarantee it, and I own the company. Remember, you don't have to restart your mortgage at 30 years or 15. We can customize the payback period. Also, if your home is worth less than what you owe, we still have the government HARP program, which will allow you to refinance and save money. And anyone who has an FHA mortgage or one with private mortgage insurance definitely needs to call me now so we can lower your monthly mortgage payments due to the recent increase in home values. The call is free and so is my time, so dial 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com. Townstone Financial is an Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and MLS 136639, equal housing lender.
Picture your son in 10 years. What kind of man do you hope to see? I know you want your son to be a man of character. It's Dan Proft, and I urge you to consider Northridge Prep, ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois for 2 years running, and a top 100 high school in America from U.S. News. Don't miss their open house on March 25th. Northridge Prep is an independent Catholic school for boys in grades 6 through 12 located in Niles. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. They instill the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm and energy. It's a good place to be a boy. Every teacher is a great role model who gets to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, and have top athletics and arts programs. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on March 25th. To learn more, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
I got you involved in this Twitter war last night about the dog on United Airlines who was in a carrier, one of the the soft cloth carriers, and the flight attendant from the decided to put the dog in the overhead bin. Told the owner that the dog would be okay. They were flying from Houston to New York. This woman had a newborn baby and a 10-month-old black
Did the baby
French
have to go in the overhead bin too?
No, she didn't. But the mom, you could tell. I mean, any woman who's given birth knows the first few months of having a baby, you're frazzled, or you just do what people tell you to do. They told her to put the dog in the overhead bin, and the dog died from asphyxiation because there's no oxygen in the overhead bin. That's why you don't put any live creatures in the overhead bin.
This is actual audio somebody captured of the dog in the overhead bin.
I know. That's what Peyton and Eli were saying. First, Dr. Dow, and now they're killing this French bulldog. A woman took pictures, fellow passenger, took pictures of the dead dog once she opened up the crate and realized, oh my God, he's not moving because he's dead. And she was crying. She was rocking back and forth in the aisle, holding her dog, just beside herself. United Airlines, though, they came clean. They apologized. They, said it
tragic
was
accident should never have occurred. As pets should never be placed in an overhead bin. We assume full responsibility for this tragedy, express our deepest condolences to the family, and are committed to supporting them.
Yeah.
We are thoroughly investigating what occurred to prevent this from ever happening again. Well, what occurred apparently is a flight attendant told her to put the dog in the bin, and that's what she did, and then the dog died. Wait, what do you mean? What's there to?
Well, that flight attendant.
investigate?
No, the flight attendant should be charged with animal cruelty. She should lose her job, first of all, because that's a mistake you can't recover from. Sorry. Too bad. And then she needs to be charged with animal cruelty. 312-642-5600 is the Turnkey.Pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
Well, the dog was barking, according to the New York Post story. So, why didn't you tend to the dog when he was barking?
Well, I don't know why she didn't tend to the dog while it was barking, but other passengers, other dog owners, other human beings with a brain that were on that plane, shame on them, too, for when the dog's barking is in an overhead bin that you don't say, excuse me, you can't do that. That's one time in my life I wish I was on a plane, because if I heard a dog barking in an overhead bin, I have common sense enough to know that dog's eventually going to die, because there's no oxygen being pumped in, and I guess the overhead bin too is just cramped with stuff, so they shoved it in there, and then shut the overhead. It makes me sick. I don't know why this makes my blood boil, but
the mom attempted to resuscitate the 10-month-old puppy.
Did you see it in the bag? It was dead in the bag there.
Well, I know, but she attempted mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
I would have done the same thing. You would have done the same thing for Hayek. You would have gotten down there, like, clear the area. Is there a doctor on board? They've had a string of bad publicity, but they've brought it all upon themselves because they're not thinking and they're not training their employees properly to do the right thing.
Is that how you put down your cats? Is this
seriously?
Is this how you did it?
I did use the same bag. That bag that dog was in, that's the same carrier that I used to take cat over.
It's like a death bag.
We also have another dog controversy, too.
Here we go. Yeah, it's happening. People are rallying to your position, Amy. Julie on the north side.
Hi. I want to say I agree with Amy. I think that they need to charge that flight attendant with animal cruelty. It's outrageous that that dog died on the plane. And I also agree with Amy that, this lady should have been attending her dog if, it was barking or whatever. And these people on the plane are bystanders. I mean, I don't think I could, watch an animal being put into the overhead and not say anything. I mean, people should have said something, and it's really not okay. And I think, when is someone going to do something? How many animals have to die on planes? It's enough.
Okay, thanks for the call, Julia.
How many animals have to die on a plane?
I don't know how many animals die on planes.
That Flemish rabbit that was going to the Iowa State Fair.
That's true.
He was brought over by United. He died from asphyxiation because he was in the underbelly of the plane, and they didn't have enough oxygen being pumped into there. So he's dead, too.
United is slowly, methodically depopulating the planet of cuddly animals.
They are. But I thought you, of all people, would be upset about the Flemish rabbit.
I was upset about the Flemish rabbit because
he's a world record breaker because he's 4 feet long. Or
I like a Flemish rabbit. I'm interested in obtaining a giant Flemish rabbit and a slow loris, but that's me. I mean the dog thing too. Here's the thing I don't understand. I mean, I've never done it, but when you're going to take an animal on a plane, you figure out what the policy is, right? Yeah. So how is it that nobody knew the policy, as United Airlines said, is that you don't put the animal in the overhead bin, you put it under your seat.
Yeah, you don't put a cat in there. You don't put a guinea pig.
Have you ever
put
traveled with pets that you had before you killed them?
You stop. Yes, I've traveled with cats. I've traveled with dogs, obviously. Now, Bunky's a service dog, so she can sit on wherever she darn well pleases.
First class.
Well, she flies the plane, really.
Yeah.
But, no, yeah, and you always, it's a TSA-approved carrier. That's what you always get. You start with that, and that's what that dog that's dead was in a TSA-approved carrier. And then you put it in the seat in front of you.
I just buy an extra seat in first class for Hayek so that we can, chat and enjoy each other's company on the flight.
Well, I just hope, and I really hope that their pilots are better than their flight attendants. You know, it just scares me about United. If they are hiring people that think it's okay to put live animals in the overhead bin, are their pilots okay too?
What?
No, I'm worried about their hiring practices.
That's a bit of a logical leap. The plane did take off and land without
I know
incident.
it did, but it's just, who's minding the store over there?
Ron in Salem, Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning, Amy, Dan, and the German out there listening. I think it's a travesty. We should get rid of overhead bins.
Ban overhead bins.
Them and the bump stocks. We got to get rid of both of them.
All right, thanks. Thanks for the call, Ron. I get your point.
Yeah, there's another dog controversy, too. I don't know if you heard this. I told you about it yesterday, but it's kind of disgusting. There's a junior high teacher, science teacher in Idaho, who fed a puppy to a snapping turtle in front of the children.
How big was that turtle?
Well,
how big was the puppy?
All we know is a turtle, and of course PETA, animal rights activists.
Was the dog alive?
Yes, Dan.
Allowing children to watch an innocent baby puppy scream because it is being fed to an animal. That is violence. That is not okay.
Have you ever gone to Red Lobster, miss?
So the teacher, they're deciding whether or not they're going to file a police report against him. But
Mutual of Omaha presents your 8th grade biology class.
I mean, and then other kids. Other kids came forward and said, "Well, he's fed guinea pigs and hamsters to snakes before."
I mean, as a kid, I would go to the local pet shop in Wheaton.
And do what?
And they would like allow you to buy a goldfish for 5 cents and feed it to the piranha in a tank.
Yeah, that's
this guy.
Are you ready for this?
He's either an innovator or he's taking it too far, depending on your
he's
perspective.
very well respected at that school.
Well, less so maybe.
But listen to this: some parents are not upset because, are you ready? The puppy was deformed. The puppy was sick. The puppy was going to die anyway.
I've only heard him feed mice or birds to his animals. I feel a little bit better that it was a puppy that was going to die, not just a healthy puppy.
If it was a deformed puppy and it was going to die anyway, Cross is very much circle of life.
He's the best science teacher Preston Junior High has.
Circle of life.
Wow. Okay, Simba. Run, Simba, run.
I mean, Jesus parents never stop delivering, do they?
Oh, boy. All right.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Rexon offers his Fare Thee Well at 5:38.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, several news outlets are projecting Democrat Conor Lamb as the apparent winner in Pennsylvania's closely watched 18th Congressional District special election, but it is too close to call. The numbers show Lamb leading Republican Rick Saccone by less than 600 votes, and that total is shrinking. Absentee ballots, more than 1,300 may go Saccone's way.
We're not giving up, but I wanted to come down and thank you all. And I know you have, you got to go to work tomorrow, and everybody's got things to do. And I didn't want to keep you here later than you really need to be, because we're going to be working late.
Students plan to walk out of class at thousands of schools across the country this morning. The walkout begins at 10 a.m. local time, lasting 17 minutes. The demonstration was to be about school safety, but is now about demanding stronger gun safety laws. Outgoing Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says he's looking ahead.
I'll now return to private life as a private citizen, as a proud American, proud of the opportunity I've had to serve my country.
After being fired yesterday by President Trump, Tillerson stressed he's now focused on an orderly and smooth transition. President Trump says it sounds like Russia may have been behind the poisoning of a former spy and his daughter.
I'm speaking to Theresa May today. It sounds to me like it would be Russia based on all of the evidence they have.
The White House has not said much about last week's attempted murder in Great Britain. Physicist Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76. Hawking's contributions to science span more than 4 decades, including his 1988 best-selling book, A Brief History of Time. Mayor Emanuel blasting Governor Rauner for vetoing a bill that he says would require already tightly regulated gun retailers to get state licenses. The governor says that plan is good political cover, but won't stop someone who shouldn't have a gun from getting a gun. Protesters are looking for more answers after a woman was shot and killed this week by an Elgin police officer along the Jane Addams toll road. Bail remains at $1 million for a former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach accused of sexually assaulting 3 students. Lake County judge denied a motion yesterday to reduce bail for Corey Beard. Several additional potential victims are being interviewed. Elvis Presley's Mercedes-Benz is for sale. And you say, well, Elvis liked Cadillacs. Well, apparently he had a Mercedes-Benz as well. Classic Car Gallery in St. Louis says it's now slashing the price on the blue 1971 Mercedes-Benz, once owned by the rock and roll legend. 4-door sedan has been sitting in a car museum since Elvis died in 1977. The gallery says it's in fantastic condition and ready to write the check, $140,000. Bears give Mitchell Trubisky some new weapons for the upcoming season. Wideout Taylor Gabriel joins a core already bolstered by Allen Robinson. Bears will also sign tight end Trey Burton to a 4-year contract. The Bears have also re-signed corner Prince Amukamara. DeAndre Jordan, 29. Clippers beat the Bulls, 112-106. Cubs were Cactus League winners over the Giants. They take on the Royals later today, while the White Sox take on the Brewers. Radford and St. Bonaventure advancing to the field of 64 after the NCAA tournament play-in games. Wins in Dayton last night. You can hop on the Bonnie bandwagon. There's plenty of room. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. 5:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white. Honest to goodness.
We are so crazily down the rabbit hole.
I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money because it isn't customized to you. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. For a limited time, get $50 off your mattress order when you go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
People make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with a 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
5:36. Let's get an update on that ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. 8094 westbound traffic stop and go. Indianapolis Boulevard to Calumet Avenue. Crash blocking the right lane. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway. Here to slow down approaching the Army Trail Toll. There's a stall in that area blocking the left lane. The other tollways look good, though there is some new road work underway now. The Tri-State Tollway at the north end. This is affecting the northbound side from 132 to 173. We've got an additional right lane closure till 2 this afternoon. Southbound work starts later this morning. Edens, Kennedy are good. Eisenhower as well. Inbound Stevenson, there's a 2-minute delay, Harlem to Pulaski. Inbound Orion, 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 18 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Traffic, service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. Firestone Complete Auto Care has got more than 4,000 ASE certified technicians to keep cars running newer, longer. Come in for the epic sales event. Get $100 off any purchase, $500 or more. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Restrictions and exclusions apply. Visit driveafirestone.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny to partly cloudy and mild today. Will top out at 47. Low of 29 overnight. Currently 23. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
Hey, before you read about it on Facebook or Twitter, or hear about it from your friends, find out what today's big stories really mean with me, Sean Hannity, today at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So after getting the news via Twitter that he was no longer the Secretary of State, Rex Hahn took to the podium yesterday to deliver his fare thee well, thanking the Foreign Service officers, professionals.
Yeah, he thanked everybody but President Trump.
In the State Department, thank the American people for allowing him to serve. And then Rex, was going to ride off into the sunset.
I'll now return to private life as a private citizen, as a proud American, proud of the opportunity I've had to serve my country. God bless all of you. God bless the American people. God bless America.
God bless you, Rex.
I mean, what a classless way to do it. If you're going to fire somebody, man up, do it face to face. I know it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but I'm so sick of this. President Trump sent Comey a letter. That would have been a great face to face meeting. You're fired. But I don't understand. If you're doing it via Twitter, and apparently, according to NBC News, General John Kelly called Tillerson Friday night and said, "This is imminent. You should resign." And he didn't do anything. Then on Saturday night, John Kelly called Tillerson again and said, "It's going to happen. Just resign. It's going to happen." And then, he came back from Africa early, and that's when he saw the Twitter.
He probably should have taken the advice and counsel of the White House Chief of Staff. He chose not to. That's fine. Tillerson, Tillerson and Trump just disagreed on a lot of major policy issues with respect to America's geopolitical positioning in the world, and that's sort of what Trump spoke to when they caught up with the D.C. press corps caught up with him yesterday about Tillerson, about Pompeo, as well as about Gina Haspel, the new CIA director.
I've worked with Mike Pompeo now for quite some time. Tremendous energy, tremendous intellect. We're always on the same wavelength. The relationship has been very good, and that's what I need as Secretary of State. I wish Rex Tillerson well. Gina, by the way, who I know very well, who I've worked very closely, will be the first woman director of the CIA. She's an outstanding person who also I have gotten to know very well. So I've gotten to know a lot of people very well over the last year. And I'm really at a point where we're getting very close to having the cabinet and other things that I want. But I think Mike Pompeo will be a truly great Secretary of State. I have total confidence in him. And as far as Rex Tillerson is concerned, I very much appreciate his commitment and his service, and I wish him well. He's a good man.
Good shakeup, a sensible shakeup of the foreign policy, national security team, intelligence team. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
Well, Rex Tillerson had no foreign policy experience when he took the job, but for me, I felt like he was
not formal.
Yeah, but he was
Global company.
the adult in the room, that he was reasonable. But he and President Trump, they always had this adversarial relationship. They never, ever got along.
Well,
and I don't know what that was.
Well, there's a couple things. One is, think about the controversy involving Rexon, where he allegedly said that the president's an idiot. I mean, this was the CEO of a Fortune 10 company, Fortune 5 company. As a chief executive officer of a global company that big, if somebody that was a key part of your inner circle had got themselves in a controversy over whether or not they said those things about you and kind of implying a lack of confidence in you, how would he tolerate that as a CEO? How would he tolerate, but more importantly than that, how would he tolerate vast strategic differences on material issues as the CEO of a company, the way that the president is the chief executive of the federal government? That's the issue. And frankly, Trump said it straight away. I mean, he talked about the disagreements, most notably the Iran nuclear deal.
Rex and I have been talking about this for a long time. We got along actually quite well, but we disagreed on things. When you look at the Iran deal, I think it's terrible. I guess it was okay. I wanted to either break it or do something, and he felt a little bit differently. So we were not really thinking the same. With Mike Pompeo, we have a very similar thought process. I think it's going to go very well. Rex is a very good man. I like Rex a lot. I really appreciate his commitment and his service. And I'll be speaking to Rex over a long period of time.
See, it doesn't strike me as it was interpersonal, because it's not like Trump is afraid to call out people or to ridicule people who he doesn't like. This seems that it was really an issue of we're not on the same page. We don't agree on big things with respect to America's position, whether it's the posture on North Korea or the Iran nuclear deal, a range of other issues. And so a change. I mean, it's almost.
I do believe, though, he deserved better than the shabby way he was fired. President Trump did call him on Air Force One while he was flying to California around noontime yesterday. But I don't know if Tillerson feels the love. I mean, to thank everybody at your final goodbye press conference and not say thank you to the president, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the man who gave you the job. You know, like, hey, and thanks for the try. But I feel like he never established himself as Secretary of State. I always felt like he was on the edge, on the bubble.
Well, I think he established himself early on, and he was given a chance, and then he marginalized himself by having these very large differences of opinion on the strategic vision, the principled realism, if that's the foreign policy moniker, of the Trump administration.
And the State Department was not happy when President Trump quickly accepted the invitation to meet Kim Jong-un face-to-face.
Yeah,
that took them by surprise.
But there's also reports of the state, these professional foreign service officers. Any organization that big, you're going to find people willing to squawk about anything. And there's also reports, there's a report in the Daily Beast about a lot of professional foreign service officers who didn't like Tillerson either.
Yeah.
So,
well, then, I mean, everyone says, there's no chaos in the White House. So he's gone. Next, probably H.R. McMaster. John Kelly, everyone says, is hanging on by a thread. And there's news this morning that President Trump wants to replace the VA secretary with Rick Perry. Move him over from the Energy Department.
Rick Perry's, he's a veteran.
Oh, he grew up on a farm.
Yeah, he also served in the Air Force.
He did.
So
that would be, I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but.
The vet secretary is, complaining about being undermined. So there's with all the problems we've had with VA and veterans getting the care to which they are entitled, the care that they deserve, if he's going to spend his time or project that he's got kind of internal loyalty problems, then, perhaps it's time to make a change. He's complained about Trump loyalists being antagonists of his. So you want to publicly complain about that rather than focus on delivering the services that the Veterans Administration has not done a particularly good job of in the recent past, then perhaps it's time to make a change. Somebody's a little bit more focused. There is also some controversy that bubbled to the surface yesterday around Gina Haspel, who is the deputy director that's being leveled up to be the first female head of the CIA. And it relates to the CIA's interrogation program.
Torturing.
After 9/11. McCain made the point that he wants more of an explanation from her during her confirmation hearings about the nature and the extent of her involvement in that program. However, a lot of other Republican senators who've obviously previously discussed these issues with her suggested that she's explained herself in the past and they're satisfied, including Richard Burr, who's the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Republican from North Carolina, said, look, I don't have any concerns. She's fully addressed those issues with the committee. Ms. Haspel has already met with practically every member, if not every member, of the intelligence panel when she ensued the number 2 job at CIA. So, people have already had a chance to kick the tires with respect to Haspel, and he doesn't see much in controversy. So we'll see how that plays out.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, speaking of Bubbles, an update on Bubbles. Remember Bubbles, Dan? The lizard?
Bubbles called, he misses you. You know what the joke is? That's the punchline.
Oh, come on.
It's not proper for morning radio.
Fine. I know what the joke is, but I don't want to say it. Today, sunny skies, a few high clouds. It will be a little bit warmer than we're used to, a high of 47 degrees. Tonight, a low of 29. And for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, a high of 43. Any high travel times? Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Then we've got a jam on 8094 westbound, Klein Avenue to Calumet Avenue. 2 right lanes are now blocked with a crash involving 2 trucks. The eastbound side is okay. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway at the Army Trail Toll Plaza. There's a stall in the left lane. The Edens is fine. Kennedy, a 2-minute delay inbound. Cumberland, Harlem. Outbound, it's still good. Got Eisenhower. 2-minute delay, 25th Avenue to East Avenue. Outbound Stevenson, a 5-minute delay. Harlem to Kedzie. Got Orion. 5 minutes worth of delays. Pockets between 87th and Circle. Bishop Ford, 23 minutes. 8094 to the merge. I-57 is clear. I'm Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this program. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series this week featuring documentarian Eli Steele, talking about his film, How Jack Became Black, and good discussion about race identity politics, the new racial order in America. 60 Seconds of Sanity from yours truly, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments, as well as Heart of the Matter, a series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day. And then our sister site, defendhomeowners.com. Defendhomeowners.com. Get a free property tax report on your home. See how the highest property taxes in the nation are impacting your home value and home equity. And then also you can look at some updated information about home sales in your region, 2017 numbers about median home sale prices, give you a sense of what the market is bearing in your neighborhood. All the property tax and home sale info at defendhomeowners.com. Everything else at upstream-ideas.com.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
When it comes to your home, nothing's more important than your roof. Everything underneath depends on it, right? Even if it's not leaking yet, you know it's important to be proactive and repair or replace it before you have a problem. And in Chicagoland, the decision to call Best Deal Inc. first is a no-brainer. For nearly 2 decades, Best Deal has delivered great service and beautiful roofs, as well as the best deal. By dealing directly with owners Greg and Dan, you'll get the absolute best deal anywhere because Best Deal maintains zero stock or warehousing, so there's no overhead to pass on to you. Best Deal uses the highest quality materials and latest, highest tech equipment. And their skilled tradesmen will complete your job on time and to your satisfaction. So if a new or repaired roof is on your list this spring, don't hesitate to get the best roof deal. Call licensed, bonded, and insured Best Deal today for your free estimate at 877-77-BEST-D or visit bestroofdeal.com. That's 877-77-BEST-D or online at bestroofdeal.com.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
Want to look good? Salt-based water softeners can make skin and hair silky smooth. Want to feel good? Salt makes muscles strong and keeps your brain healthy. And of course, salt makes meals nice and tasty. Salt can also de-ice roads for driver safety. It's easy to forget. Salt is at our service all day, every day. So let's celebrate during World Salt Awareness Week. Visit worldsaltawarenessweek.org to learn more.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, no. Insomnia, please, not tonight. I've got a busy day tomorrow.
Ooh, what's that sound? Wow, sounds like your partner is sound asleep. You must be jealous.
Yes.
Too bad. Come on, let's go to the kitchen. Yes, you have ice cream and cookies. Eat all of it.
Insomnia, please, leave me alone.
No. Who is that? Check your phone. Ooh, scroll through social media. Check the news.
That's it. I'm taking Calitrin, so you will finally leave me alone for good.
Wait, no, not Calitrin. I'm sorry.
Too late.
No, please, no.
Finally, sleep.
Calitrin, the #1 choice for healthy weight loss that not only works while you sleep, it helps you sleep.
I really enjoy taking Calitrin because it definitely helps me with my sleeping. I have lost approximately 10 pounds, and I am very pleased with the results.
My name is Marcia, and my husband and I both take Calitrin to sleep better at night and for to help on his weight.
Check us out at toploss.com or call 1-833-TOP-LOSS.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white. Honest to goodness, we are so crazily down the rabbit hole. I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:56 and a check of your early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Pretty big jam on 8094 westbound. Solid Klein Avenue to Calumet Avenue. 2 right lanes are blocked there with a crash involving 2 trucks. The eastbound side is okay. No problems to report on Toll Road or I-65 at this hour. Edens looks good. Kennedy inbound. Heavy Cumberland to Harlem. 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 20, though it's getting a little heavier around Sayre. About Eisenhower. Lays up from 25th Avenue to East Avenue. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 5 to 29. About Stevenson. So Harlem to Cudsey. 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound all good. About Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is clear. Bishop Ford, 23 minutes. 8094 to the merge. Traffic service, Staples. Staples can help your business stand out. Custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off next print and marketing services purchase. You spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24. Exclusions apply. Staples. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We get the very latest with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, sun and some clouds, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the afternoon, high 47, mainly clear night, low 29. Full day of sunshine tomorrow, high 43, and a mainly clear night, low 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
23 at O'Hare, the news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 5:59, and here are the stories we are following on AM 560. The Answer. Mayor Emanuel blasting Governor Rauner for vetoing a bill that would require already tightly regulated gun retailers to get an additional state license. School districts across the area are ready for some students to join today's planned national walkout to protest gun violence. Protesters are looking for more answers after a woman was shot and killed this week by an Elgin police officer along the Jane Addams Toll Road. A new poll shows Mayor Emanuel could be ripe for a challenger next year. It's a Temkin-Harris poll of 500 registered voters that find 57% of voters in the city say it's going in the wrong direction. Bears set for more free agent signings today. Clippers beat the Bulls. Blackhawks are back on the ice against the Jets. 24 degrees and some clouds in your forecast. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
He said his goal was simple, a complete understanding of the universe. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Famed scientist Stephen Hawking has died.
He had not already achieved the utopian visions of the future.
His body ravaged by disease, a computer gave him voice. Fox's Simon Owens live in Britain where Hawking died this morning.
Dave, Stephen Hawking's family say he died peacefully at home in Cambridge, England at age 76. He was 21 when he was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, and was given only a few years to live. But he defied the illness for more than 5 decades, producing groundbreaking work on time and space. He was also popular and was known for his sense of humour. Hawking's 3 children saying he once said, "It would not be much of a universe if it wasn't home to the people you love." They say they'll miss him forever. Dave?
Simon, the race for a vacant seat in Congress said to be too close to call in Pennsylvania, but Democrat Connor Lamb has declared victory in a district that's voted Republican for years.
Our job in Congress is to attack the problems, not each other.
Lamb has a narrow 500-plus vote lead over Republican Rick Saccone.
More than 1,000 absentee ballots were being counted overnight, and reports say that has been completed in Washington County, where they say Lamb has a edge over his Republican opponent. Lamb, of course, is a 33-year-old former Marine, former federal prosecutor who was criticized of the political climate last night during his speech in which he claimed victory. He was heavily supported by the labor unions of steel and the coal industries.
Fox's Eric Shaw in Pittsburgh. Students across the country will walk out of their schools this morning at 10 a.m. in each time zone for 17 minutes, one for each student, and an adult killed in the Parkland, Florida high school shooting spree 4 weeks ago. The gunman, Nicholas Cruz, will be in court, arraigned on murder and attempted murder charges. Prosecutors will seek the death penalty. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So the guy that Eddie Redmayne played passed away. And Stephen Hawking died at the age of 76, came over the transom late yesterday evening.
He was diagnosed with ALS in 1963, so he has lived with this disease for decades.
Yeah, obviously a famed theoretical cosmologist.
Renowned scientist, all that.
Right, although he was wrong about Higgs boson, wasn't he? And he had to admit Peter Higgs was right. We'll debate.
I remember that. We're going to debate that in the last hour of the
8
show
o'clock
this morning.
hour, we're going to debate. We're going to reenact the argument between Stephen Hawking and Peter Higgs about the Higgs boson. The particle that gives, the God particle, right? Of course you know. The particle that gives matter, protons, protons and electrons mass.
Right.
So that's going to be a fun 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking, also known as a great comedic actor in such series as Family Guy.
Tell your wife to come over to my place if she wants a little boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. Boom.
Is that too soon?
Well, no, but this is, I mean, he did have a funny side to him when he was on Larry King. Once Larry King asked him, he said, "What puzzles you the most about this world?" And he said, "Women." He can't figure women out. He can figure everything out, but not us, not our gender.
That's a good one. He was better in Family Guy when he had writers.
Oh, that feels so good. Yeah. Oh, like that. Oh, baby. I thought about this all day. Not so fast. You are hurting me.
Dan, that is when you do say way too soon, not just too soon.
Yeah.
He would have enjoyed it. Yeah, you just mentioned his great sense of humor that he had.
He did have a great sense of humor,
Yeah.
and that's why, he let them use his appearance and his voice on Family Guy and on The Simpsons.
Right.
I
mean, everybody can talk about cosmology. This is...
Einstein's theory of relativity.
Well, I'm sorry, who's what? All right, switching gears. Today is March 14th by my look at the calendar. That means that a bunch of kids who are in charge of schools where adults get paid are walking out to protest gun violence, protest guns, to...
And want the banning of assault rifles, assault weapons.
Whatever those are, memorialize the 17 that were murdered in Parkland. But in Chicago, that is being met with some resistance. The resistance turns the tables. And that is the Chicago Republican Party has sued CPS over these walkouts. Why did they do that, and how are they faring? For more on that topic, we're pleased to be joined by Chris Cleveland, who is the chairman of the Chicago Republican Party. Chris, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dan.
So why the lawsuit against, or perhaps you're just seeking injunctive relief, but why the action against CPS?
Well, what we've actually done is filed a complaint with the Inspector General, and we'll see what he actually does. But the problem is that we've got teachers who are taking kids out for a political rally on public property, on public time. And it's just, this is in political indoctrination. It's totally inappropriate.
Well, how many schools, because I know my kid's school is not doing it, but how many CPS schools are planning a walkout? Do you know?
Well, we know that the walkouts are going to be widespread. The one that triggered it was my own school. I have a child in a CPS school. And in this one, they were planning to take grades 5 through out, herd them outside for this demonstration. They encouraged them to make posters about gun control to express their opinions about it. Now, I don't think they're telling these kids to, be against gun control here. It's clear that they're pushing a political view upon them.
Well, and we've seen this in some of the survivors from Parkland and other school shootings who've spoken out that there's some divided opinion among young people about guns, as there is in the general public. And so you've had some people, some kids, some high school students say, well, no, I'm not opposed to guns, or no, I don't think banning guns is the answer to what happened in Parkland. And is there any indication from your kids' experience or what you've heard that people that don't hew to the orthodoxy of the Chicago Teachers Union on the issue are being allowed to express themselves too?
No, there's no indication of it because this is an elementary school. I mean, these kids are 10, 11 years old, the grades, 5 through 8, 14. And they're not old enough to really have formed an informed political opinion upon this sort of thing. And they're going to do what their teachers tell them to do in this case, or what their peers are saying that they should do. What they're going to do is they're going to herd all these kids out, and the few kids who choose not to participate, they do have some provision for this, they're going to be put into their own room where they just have to sit by themselves for this room.
A veritable overhead bin, Amy.
Stop it. But then they could face bullying, too, from other students who want them to take part in this protest, which they believe it's their, civic duty to do so. You had mentioned that they encouraged the kids to make posters. Did the teachers tell them what exactly should be on the posters, or encourage them?
All we
make
know
some
is what
suggestions?
what the principal said in his email, and he said that they are encouraged to bring posters to express their opinion. Now you can guess what that means exactly.
Yeah, and so the complaint has been filed with the Inspector General, the City Inspector General.
Right, CPS Inspector.
Oh, CPS, okay, yeah, right, CPS. Yeah, I keep forgetting that we pretend that CPS and the city are two different things. But this is something, obviously, you filed it yesterday, the walkouts today, they're not going to adjudicate it. So this is going to happen, right? I mean, unless you, for your specific child, you pull your kid out of school or something like that.
Well, we've appealed to the good sense of CPS, and if they're wise enough to recognize that this is an explicit violation of CPS policy, written CPS policy, it's a violation of state law, and it's a violation of the First Amendment, You'd think that they would call the principals or put out a note and say, hey, come on, you can't do this. Are they going to have the good sense to do this? I don't know.
Wow.
But somehow I doubt it.
So personally, what have you decided to do with your daughter or son? Are they going to stay in a specific classroom while people walk, or are they just going to go walk outside, get some fresh air?
Well, he's a third grader, so he's not going to be among those who are herded outside for this thing. So we've dodged that bullet this time. Who knows what'll happen in a couple of years when we have to deal with it.
Well, that's the remarkable thing, isn't it? I mean, as you mentioned it, but it bears repeating and emphasizing. First, second, third graders, fourth, fifth graders, and they're supposed to take hard positions on public policy issues like guns and get out there with placards. And obviously, this is just following the lead of the adults to the extent that you call that leadership, and it's exploitive, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course. It's coercive. At that age, it's coercive. It's political indoctrination. And not only does it not make any sense, is it obviously wrong, it's a violation of the law. I mean, you cannot be doing this. State law says you can't use public property for private political purposes.
Well,
it's crystal clear.
And if you're worried about kids' safety, I mean, keeping them in school as opposed to, forcing them to go outside, because I know personally our school is on a busy street, so I don't want that to happen.
Or if you're just worried about, as Chris mentioned, the rule of law in a free society. If you're worried about the state law meaning anything.
Well, the head of Chicago Public Schools came out and assured parents that students would not be punished for participating. So even though if a school is doing it and then a student wants to walk out and leave, they're not going to be punished.
What about but the question is, should the people breaking the law be punished, I guess, is the operative question, right?
Well, yeah, obviously. And as I said, CPS has an explicit rule which explicitly prohibits political demonstrations or rallies on public property. A teacher who leads this sort of thing ought to be subject to some kind of penalties, else the rule is meaningless.
All right, he is Chris Cleveland, appealing to the good sense of CPS.
Good luck with it. we're pulling for you.
He's chairman of the Chicago Republican Party. Chris, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you familiar with Leo High School?
I am.
It's in the city, and they're going to add 3 extra minutes of silence, 1 minute for Commander Paul Bauer, and 2 minutes for the victims of Chicago gun violence. So I can't wait to see where all the local reporters are going to station themselves. Today, sunny to partly cloudy, milder, a high of 47 degrees. We have 24, degrees right now at O'Hare. Tonight, clear, a low of 29, and Thursday, sunshine, a high of 43 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Well, thanks, Amy and Dan. There is some real news, traffic news anyway, right now in northwest Indiana. Westbound 8094 is a solid parking lot from Burr to Calumet Avenue. A crash there has 2 right lanes blocked, trying to clean up this collision involving 2 semis. Eastbound traffic moves pretty well. You might have a brief gaper's tap of the brakes around Calumet Avenue. Otherwise, it's clear, and the toll road is fine as an alternate. Now, the northbound Tri-State Tollway at Deerfield Road is crashed. 2 left lanes are blocked there. Eden still looks good. Kennedy inbound tight Cumberland to Foster. 23 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21. Mount Eisenhower delays start around 25th Avenue. It is 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Mount Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Issue 425. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site laboratory, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Illinois is a Democratic state. It's got a fake Republican governor.
Tucker Carlson is right about Rauner. He's a fake Republican. An income tax hike and property tax spikes, sanctuary state, and radical left social policies. Rauner's tried to cover it up with lies about me, refuted by conservative leaders and even the media. We either make a stand now or we turn Illinois over to Chicago Democrats and fake Republicans. Don't be afraid to make a change. If you want a conservative governor, vote for her. I'm Jeannie Ives. I'm asking for your vote.
Paid for by Ives for Illinois. You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we played Hillary's remarks from over the weekend at this conference in Mumbai.
Yeah, in India. She's having problems because they keep showing these pictures of her falling down the stairs.
Yeah, did you see that? She kept falling down the stairs, even with two men basically holding her up to help her walk down the stairs. I mean, I don't know.
There's something wrong there.
Neurological. Perhaps, I don't know. But we do know what we do know what she said.
Yes.
And Jason Willock, who's a editorial features editor at the Journal, Wall Street Journal, had an interesting op-ed. We talked about it a little bit, some of the obvious things that she said, but I thought he had a good take. Let's just refresh your recollection of what she had to say about Trump voters. Again, 3 categories of Trump voters. People who don't want black people to have rights,
Racist.
People who don't want women to have jobs,
Sexist.
and then women who are being bullied by the men in their lives. That explains the entire Trump constituency, according to Hillary Clinton.
The map of the United States. There's all that red in the middle where Trump won. I win the coasts, I win, Illinois and Minnesota, places like that. But what the map doesn't show you is that I won the places that represent 2/3 of America's gross domestic product. So I won the places that are optimistic, diverse, dynamic, moving forward. And his whole campaign, Make America Great Again, was looking backwards. You didn't like black people getting rights. You don't like women, getting jobs. You don't want to, see that Indian American succeeding more than you are. Whatever your problem is, I'm going to solve it. So it was a symptom, but it was also a cause, because having someone run for president who voices those ideas, who rejects so much of the American story and our values, was also the underlying cause as well.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Give you a chance to apologize to Hillary Clinton for voting for Donald Trump if you did. I like her use of Indian American because she's in front of an Indian crowd.
Yeah, and wearing a sari.
She's so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
You see what you did.
Did you see what I did?
Okay.
I said she's wearing a sari, but she's not sorry. And she continues to just belittle and just try to denigrate the Republicans and people who voted for President Trump.
Not try. She's doing it. Jason Willick, though, makes this point in the Wall Street Journal. What happened to the Democratic Party as the party of the common man? Not the rich, not the elites. I kind of glossed over this yesterday, but this is really an important point he makes, including to those minority communities that Hillary Clinton referenced, at least some of them, particularly African Americans, who are not enjoying that GDP productivity that she talked about in those urban centers that supported her. Willick writes this. The unexpected, Mrs. Clinton herself has endorsed the economic anxiety thesis in a backhanded way. Economic concerns are simply an excuse for bigotry. That's the left's position. Economic anxiety is even a running joke on progressive Twitter, sarcastic response to reports of racism among Republicans. The idea that voters in regions with stagnating incomes and diminishing job opportunities are likely to be drawn to populism. So this is kind of, the ignorant hillbilly thesis in terms of why Trump won. But now Mrs. Clinton herself has endorsed this thesis, writes Willick. She sees her electoral disappointment in economically downscale regions not as a political failure, but as a source of validation, and apparently an indication of those voters' failings. He makes the point that last fall she told Vox the Electoral College is an anachronism because I won counties that produce 2/3 of the economic output in the United States. So,
oh yeah, she said that. I won Illinois, Minnesota. I won all the East Coast and all the West Coast.
Yeah,
that's why we have an Electoral College.
Well, but so the question that her comments raise, should electoral power be determined by wealth? Should the people who have produced 2/3 of the GDP, should they have more of a say in our country than people in the 1/3?
Oh, yeah. So we would get 2 votes, and then everybody else would get 1.
What's this we stuff? You think you're in the 2/3? I mean, no.
No, I meant
but
Illinois.
But seriously, this is a monarchical, aristocratic statement that she's making. So for those of you who think that the Democrat Party in its modern incarnation is still the party of Andrew Jackson, the common man party, listen to what Hillary's saying beyond the identity politics piece of it. The income identity politics and power piece of it.
Yeah, that's right. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
I won the people who count, the other people don't count.
Besides, after she called us a racist and sexist.
Well, right. And also
that women voted for Trump because their husbands forced them into it.
And your economic anxiety is your fault. It's completely your fault. And you should have your political power diminished as a result. The idea that somebody in the rural South should have the same vote that an urban, sophisticated Chicago has, well, that's offensive to Hillary. That's what she's saying. It's an important point that Mr. Willick raises. Verlon on the South Side.
Oh, Verlon.
I can't stand that woman.
Right.
I don't think there's anybody more in politics I hate than the Clintons. This woman mentally stalked women and mentally tortured Bill Clinton's mistresses. This couple voted for the reaffirming of the Confederate flag in Little Rock, Arkansas. These people have done more damage to this country than any other power couple, any other president and president's wife in history. They're the first true cancer of America. That woman needs to go somewhere and put a bag over her head and think before she starts talking.
All right.
Well,
thanks
she
for
was
the call,
there
Verlon.
trying to make money. She was promoting her new book. That's why she was there and got
What
paid
new
to
book?
speak.
You mean what?
What happened?
Yeah. It's flying off the shelves, I'm sure. Paul, the New Lennox.
Hey, great show again. I just like
Thank
to
you.
say that I think the only cerebral stimulation that Hillary has is when she goes to the bathroom. She's so far out of touch with what's going on in America that all she can do is cry in her cry towel. And Dan, I am coming to see you with Donna Brazil. I'm going to sign up today.
All right, good.
Buy my tickets.
All right, very good. We'll see you on the 22nd, Paul. Thanks for the call.
Where can they go to get tickets?
560theanswer.com/beyond.
Very good, Dan.
Thank you. Promotions department would be very
I'm
happy
parking
with me.
cars out front, and I do take tips.
Yeah. It's Amy's side hustle. Yeah. Dawn in Harvard.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am a single woman, very financially challenged. I did not support Hillary Clinton. I voted for Donald Trump and supported Jeff Sessions. I can't stand Hillary Clinton, and no man is bullying me.
All right, Dawn. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Dan in Libertyville.
Hello, and thank you for taking my call. I just want to say I'm very thankful to Hillary for going to foreign countries and expressing these views and being very clear about how she feels about things, because it just reaffirms all the reasons why I am so happy I did not vote for her, and I voted for our President Trump.
Thanks for the call, Dan. I mean, look, I agree. I love when people show you who they are. They take off their face. Hillary takes off that pretense and just tells you exactly what she thinks about you. It's so clarifying.
It's worse than her calling Republicans deplorables.
It's
she took
more
it to
specific.
Yeah, it is more specific.
Yeah.
But still.
Mark in Joliet.
Hey, good morning, Amy and Dan. Hillary matters nothing. She's going nowhere. What's more important is the guest that you had on just before this conversation, where you talked about today how students who show up for school to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, who refuse to be socially indoctrinated, are going to be left encircled up and left in classrooms and treated like lepers. That is a horrible crime. And a couple of weeks ago when I called and said, look, if you want to stop abuse to your children, the place to start is homeschooling, and both of you laughed at me for that.
No, we're not
talking about
not
bullying,
laughing. We're not laughing about
how
homeschooling.
children are going to get
That's
bullied.
not true. That's not true. We're not laughing about homeschooling at all. I'm a homeschool proponent, absolutely. So I don't remember the context exactly, but we weren't laughing at you. I'm a big fan of proper homeschooling, and it's becoming more and more popular for precisely the reason that you're mentioning, which is that these public schools are nothing more than totalitarian re-education camps that are antagonistic to the interests of family. I get it.
Well, thank you, because across this country, parents send their children to school to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, not the social agendas.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Mark. Appreciate that.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Governor Rauner moves on that gun bill. And anything else, Dan? Oh, and then Bubbles. You want to talk about Bubbles, right?
Also, yeah, I do want to talk about Bubbles. There's no question. He misses you.
Because you love to blow bubbles.
And also...
You loved blowing bubbles when you were a kid. You told me that yesterday.
Speaking of that...
And he loves tiny bubbles.
There's no question. Don Ho. Speaking of that, also, a related story, masturbating at the Wilmette Police Station is a no-no. So, just a little bit of a public service announcement
That
there.
might trump the Bubbles story. But first, let's go into the newsroom. I can't wait. Here's Mike Scott.
24 degrees, clouds this morning. President Trump on the border says a wall will be the first line of defense for the United States.
The fact is, if you don't have a wall system, it would be bedlam, I imagine.
Speaking near the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego, the president yesterday saying a border wall will stop much of the illegal flow of illegal immigrants, he says. The president also heads to Missouri later today to pitch tax cuts and the economy. He'll host a roundtable discussion after touring a Boeing plant in St. Louis. Outgoing Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is taking shots at Russia this morning.
Russia must assess carefully as to how its actions are in the best interest of the Russian people and of the world more broadly.
In brief comments after being fired by the president yesterday, Tillerson noted that Russia's troubling actions point a finger of blame at that country for the recent poisoning of an ex-spy and his daughter. Students and teachers across the country will walk out of classrooms today in a show of support for the 17 killed at a Florida high school shooting. They were going to be advocating for stronger school defenses, but now it's become an advocacy for stricter gun laws. Senior Ellie Lancaster helped organize a demonstration at her school.
It's less about politics and more just about common sense that schools should be safe and that this isn't okay and we shouldn't normalize school shootings.
Last month, gunman Nicholas Cruz stormed Stoneman Douglas High in Parkland, Florida, fatally shooting 17. Cruz will be in court today. Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76. The world-renowned physicist, whose contributions to science span more than 4 decades, was born in Oxford, England in 1942. Became famous for his work on black holes and quantum gravity. A federal court upholding a ban on sanctuary cities in Texas. A 3-judge panel on the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans upheld a tough 2010 Texas immigration measure. Mayor Emanuel's blasting Governor Rauner for vetoing a bill that would require already tightly regulated retailers to get state licenses. An investigation is underway following a large crash on a bridge over the Des Plaines River in Joliet. 11 vehicles involved, 7 were hurt. And activists are calling for a new Chicago Police Oversight Commission. Well, gathered at City Hall yesterday, the Grassroots Alliance revealed a proposal for a commission with the power to fire the city's police superintendent and set department policy. Mayor Emanuel didn't say whether he supports the proposed board. Bears go free agent shopping. They come up with some new weapons for Mitchell Trubisky, including wide receiver Taylor Gabriel, also signing tight end Trey Burton, and also re-signing corner Prince Amukamara, and a kicker will join the Bears squad as well. Clippers beat the Bulls. Cubs 2-1 Cactus winners over the Giants. Radford and St. Bonaventure advancing to the field of 64 after NCAA tournament play-in wins in Dayton. The news service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes in another type of bank account.
I mean, I know the role that I play in a lot of people's lives, and I think about that. Have I disappointed people? You know, when I came out against Donald Trump during the primaries, people were very disappointed. That's why I'm a big believer in the moral bank account theory I have. Now, we make deposits when we do good things, and we make withdrawals when we make what are mistakes or perceived as mistakes.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois. The following is a paid political announcement.
This is Reverend Bob Vanden Bush for the One Nation Under God Foundation. Try to imagine what our nation would be like if all religious and moral influence were removed from our government. What would happen to our laws? Tuesday, March 20th is primary election day in Illinois. We not only have the right to vote, but also the responsibility to vote to protect our inalienable right to practice our religious beliefs. These rights have been under siege in Springfield by politicians who have supported taxpayer-funded abortion and have attacked religious liberty, moral standards, and traditional marriage. Find out which candidates for public office will stand up for your Christian values. Please visit IllinoisFamily.org to find out which candidates deserve your vote. It's time for us to make a difference in Illinois. Vote on Tuesday, March 20th. God bless you and your family today.
Paid for by the One Nation Under God Foundation, a tax-exempt organization.
6:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. West side, Oak Park, southbound Austin, right at the Eisenhower. Got a report of a collision involving a pedestrian. In northwest Indiana, got a huge jam. Westbound 8094 from Burr to Calumet Avenue. Crash now blocking one right lane. Tri-State Tollway northbound. It's stop and go from Lake Cook to before Deerfield Road. Crash there has two left lanes blocked. Eastbound Adams Tollway a little sluggish. The Tri-State to the Kennedy. On the inbound Kennedy. Lanes from Cumberland to Montrose and Division. Take that Kimball to Chicago Avenue. It is now 33 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 15 from Montrose. 12 in the Express. Outbound 25 minutes to the airport. Eden's 22 minutes. Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 19. Eisenhower 45 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson 49 minutes. 355 to the drive. Ryan 22 minutes. 95th to the loop. Traffic is a service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase. When you spend $50 or more, standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only ends 3/24. Exclusions apply. Staples. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny to partly cloudy, a milder day ahead, high 47, clear, 29 overnight. Sunshine 43 tomorrow, looking ahead to Friday, a chilly day ahead. Partial sunshine as we get ready for the river to turn green and a high near 40. Currently 23. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday afternoons at 4.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we want to get to Trump touring the wall prototypes in San Diego before addressing a room full of Marines. But first, real quick, Pat in Elburn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, how you doing, Dan and Amy?
Good.
So I just want to go back. I don't mean to get you guys off topic, but I just want to address the previous caller that was talking about homeschooling and then your comments about schools being totalitarian indoctrination institutions. I think homeschooling certainly has its place, and it's a case by case basis. Parents want to make that decision.
Yeah.
But in defense of public schools, just to put another perspective here, kids learn a lot in public schools as far as being socialized with other kids, dealing with adverse personalities, learning how to deal with people in social situations. And I think that the values and the morals that parents do their job, those values and morals that they instill in their kids, that's the foundation that they fall back on when they face adversity in a social situation or even something they're presented with information that they don't totally agree with in school. They can say, oh, I don't totally agree with that, and at least that's the hope. if parents have done their job at home with the kid. I think there's a lot to be learned in public schools for young people, and I think it gives them some tools to deal with adversity when they go out into the workforce and deal with personalities that clash with theirs, maybe even that present information that clash with things that they believe, but they have to somehow work as a team or do their job.
Well,
and I think that there's some value there in public schools.
Well, look, I mean, good public schools, and there are some. I mean, I'm not saying we should shutter all public schools. I've never said anything of the sort. And I'm not saying you're saying that I'm saying it, but it's just if you are an advocate for homeschooling or private schools, you get, of course, oh, you hate public schools. No, I don't. Silly. It should be a competitive environment, just like our collegiate system is competitive. So, of course, there are good public schools that do precisely what you're saying, but you start from a premise I reject, which is that homeschooling, and it's implicit in that, even though I know you said it's a case-by-case basis, good for some kids, that homeschooling kids don't get socialized with other kids. And point of fact, most of the studies on the topic have indicated that actually homeschooling children participate in more extracurricular activities than their public school peers. So they are getting socialized through sports and through arts and through other extracurricular activities they participate in through a park district or through the school itself or whatever. Of course, there are going to be cases that are outliers, but I'm just saying the idea that because you're homeschooled, you're somehow sheltered from the outside world. Those homeschooling families are sensitive to that very point that you're raising about socialization and coping skills, so they make sure their children have access to that, generally speaking. And, I mean, there are many, obviously, very successful, good examples of homeschooling kids, like, I don't know, Tim Tebow.
Right, and then also
Thanks for the call, Pat.
I see homeschooled kids every Monday and Tuesday at Elk Grove Park District because they come for gym class.
And they tutor you in math.
Stop it. I want to tutor them in volleyball, actually. I think their coach doesn't really know what they're doing. But I watch them, and they're socializing, interacting.
Yeah.
And then they go, after an hour and a half of gym, they leave.
Because
go back to their parents' house.
Because it's a small group of people relative to, most families obviously send their kids to public school or private school. They don't, for whatever reason, they don't have the bandwidth, the expertise. They think the public school or private school would do a better job. They're acting in the best interest of the kids, and some families choose to homeschool. But, I mean, we shouldn't stigmatize based on this kind of perception that because you're learning in the home rather than with 30 other kids in a classroom that you're somehow not learning or you're not getting coping skills or you're not going to be able to socialize with other kids. It's just not true. That's my only point. All right. President Trump toured the prototypes.
Yeah, the 8 contestants in his wall pageant. Which one is he going to choose?
Yeah, well, he had some very specific comments on the prototypes and their features because, you're dealing with veritable professional mountain climbers.
I mean, we're looking very much at the wall with some see-through capability on the other side and then solid concrete on top or steel and concrete on top. The round piece that you see up here or you see more clearly back there, the larger it is, the better it is because it's very hard to get over the top. It's really deterrent from getting over the top. Who would think? But the top is easy. These are like professional mountain climbers. They're incredible climbers. They can't climb some of these walls. Some of them they can. Those are the walls we're not using. So we've determined that you guys have done a fantastic job.
I mean, what? Mountain climber?
I think he saw Everest with Josh Brolin one too many times.
You
and
think?
He thinks people have like rappelling equipment and they go in teams with Sherpas to enter this country. But
I just want him to pick a wall that you can't put paint on because I think it's going to get graffitied on both sides.
Well, that's where you do the Naked Gun graffiti-proof wall, where as soon as you try and spray paint it, it spray paints you. That's the solution there. I think we have the technology. So he went from
that's fantastic.
That pronouncement
about
stopping those mountain climbers trying to illegally enter this country to addressing a room full of Marines at the Miramar Air Base in San Diego. And he had a couple topics. He talked about, of course, talked about the wall.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to mess with us. Dangerous criminal and terrorist organizations relentlessly seek to exploit our immigration system. I've just come from a trip to the border where I met with our wonderful border agents, the Border Patrol and the ICE agents, unbelievable people, and reviewed prototypes of a new physical wall that will protect our border and protect our country.
The Marines seem to like this.
We don't have a choice. You need it. We need it for the drugs. We need it for the gangs. We need it for lots of reasons. We have to have it. It'll be 99.5% successful. People won't be able to come over it. The drugs will stop by a lot, although we have to get a lot tougher with drug dealers.
All right, that's the case for the wall.
There's already a wall there. I mean, but it's an older structure, and then they build tunnels. I mean, in Tijuana, that's all they do. They dig tunnels, and they pop up in someone's living room in San Diego or wherever it is.
Okay, now who's referencing Naked Gun?
I'm just saying it's. And then last year they used drones to drop drugs in a parking lot, whatever. Yeah, I mean, fine. He's got to build a wall.
And that's not all he's going to do.
Oh no!
Because we're also going intergalactic.
What?
He kind of trial ballooned a space force to our add to our naval force, our army, our Coast Guard. Yeah, the space force.
You wouldn't have been going to Mars if my opponent won. That I can tell you. You wouldn't even be thinking about it. You wouldn't be thinking about it.
We're sending the Marines to Mars?
My new national strategy for space recognizes that space is a warfighting domain, just like the land, air, and sea. We may even have a space force. Develop another one. Space Force. We have the Air Force. We'll have the Space Force. We have the Army, the Navy. You know, I was saying it the other day because we're doing a tremendous amount of work in space. I said, maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force. And I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea. Maybe we'll have to do that. That could happen. That could be the big breaking story. Look at all those people back there. Look at them.
Okay, so he's watching Josh Brolin in Everest too much, and he's also watching
Spaceballs.
Nathan Fillion. I was going to go with Firefly.
Oh.
But
Spaceball.
But
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, that is the worst Mel
It
Brooks
is
impersonation
really
I've ever
bad.
heard.
But that really
Space Force.
Who's in? 312-642-5600. Is he okay over there? I mean, I know he was, in California, which
Yeah,
that state rejects him and his policies.
Well, you got Governor
but-
Moonbeam there, and then he's
Yeah.
got the Space Force because there'll be some kind of intergalactic conflict.
And when he said, "Look at them back there," is he talking about members of the media who are probably
Yeah,
wondering,
look at them
"Oh my
back there,
God,
the fake
this
news
is exhausting."
people.
Like,
Yeah, the fake news people. The Marines like that, too, by the way, when he called them the fake news people. Marty in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning. I just have a question. Amy, how did you pronounce Tijuana?
Tijuana.
And how do you pronounce San
Is
Diego?
that from homeschooling or is that from public schooling?
That's
when
from
you're being
living in
socialized?
Ciudad
And how
Juarez.
did you say San Diego? How'd you say that?
San Diego.
Un Wales.
Thank you for the call, Marty. Appreciate it.
Well, it has a different. You know what San Diego means,
I know from Ron Burgundy what it
right?
means.
I'm sorry. What San Diego?
Yes. Jeff in Arlington Heights.
Hi, Dan and Amy. Listen, I spent 4 years as a Border Patrol agent down in Tucson, Arizona. And I think most, that's why I loved Amy's Ramada Inn story because I was down there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you make out with Edward James Olmos down there,
Did we
too?
make out?
Oh, I love that story. Anyways, no, I think Trump, like most politicians, has very little understanding of the border issues. But I will say this. I mean, I caught some backpackers who had 40, 50 pounds of dope on their back, and we're in the mountains, climbing mountains all the time. So they are pretty impressive people that can do that sort of thing.
No, yeah, I don't dispute it. It's just sort of almost comedic the way that Trump says it. You know what I mean, Jeff?
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Michael on the north side. Michael now.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh, this is Michael. Not Mike.
I don't understand why people don't think Donald Trump is one of the funniest men on the planet. He just says stuff, and people they run with it, and I think it's great. I think he could make up anything, and I laugh and I laugh and I laugh, and the people are like, "Oh my God, he's just crazy." It's funny. He's just so funny.
Yeah. Real funny until we have that Space Force, and you're fighting it out in a dogfight for Mars, control of Mars or something. I don't know.
Who's our enemy? Have we identified the enemy that we're allegedly fighting in space?
The Klingons? I don't know. You'll have to wait for his next speech to find out.
Discovered by the Germans in 1904, they named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Volkswagen making a $25 billion investment in batteries for electric cars, and the 9th largest shareholder of Dr. Pepper Snapple shares may unload $380 million worth of them. Those stories next.
This is Jack from Banyan Hill. You like freedom? I do. You like money? I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're gonna love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard right. $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want a chance to grab your full share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by April 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the April 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
Gearing up for a global expansion of its electric cars, Volkswagen securing partners to supply $25 billion worth of battery orders just for electric cars Volkswagen will market in Europe and China. The move seen as a public challenge to Tesla. Economic reports today, the latest retail sales, an update on weekly mortgage applications, and business inventories for the month. One of Dr. Pepper Snapple's largest shareholders may sell his stake in advance of the proposed merger with Keurig Green Mountain, warning he doesn't like the merger. Michael Linsell, a London investor, controls shares worth $380 million. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern, on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, conservative, Christian. Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Liberal Erica Harold can't be trusted to protect our children. An NBC5 Chicago investigation revealed that, quote, Erica Harold said that she would place a child in the care of known child abusers. That's right.
Harold chose the child abusers.
Illinois families can't trust Erica Harold to be our next Attorney General. Child abuse is wrong, and Erica Harold is wrong. Our children and our state deserve better than Erica Harold.
Paid for by Citizens for Gary Grasso.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Illinois Army National Guard. Aired by the Illinois Broadcasters Association at this station.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do, and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook. Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit to immediate repeal of the Madigan income tax hike.
You need legislator approval to repeal that, obviously, so you have to have them decide to do that, to repeal it, right? I can't guarantee what the legislator is going to send me in the bill.
Jeannie Ives, guaranteed to defend and defer to Mike Madigan.
I don't think that's any way to deal with the powerful Speaker of the House, Mike Madigan.
Paid for by Citizens for Rauner, Inc.
Everyone needs to make smart financial decisions, and Townstone Financial can help. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I always say Townstone cares about you more than any other mortgage company. So what if I told you that Townstone talked more people out of completing a reverse mortgage in 2017 than it closed? It's true. So if you've been thinking that a reverse mortgage could benefit your situation, call Townstone today at 312-896-2110. We will walk you through the entire reverse mortgage process until you feel comfortable with the product. In fact, if you've spoken to another mortgage company about a reverse mortgage, give Townstone a call now for a second opinion, because the experts at Townstone will let you know if we think a reverse mortgage is the right product for you or your family member. Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me today, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110, or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois Mortgage Licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Just a couple weeks away from Beyond the Talking Points, when I'll debate Donna Brazile. It's Thursday, March 22nd, at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows. And right now we have a pair of tickets to give away to caller number 5 to 312-733-6993. Again, 312-733-6993. Caller number 5 gets 2 tickets. If you don't win, you can buy tickets online at 560theanswer.com/beyond.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Governor Rauner moved on the gun bill. He did it far away from Chicago media. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Activists calling for a new Chicago Police Oversight Commission. WIND Chicago News Time 7.
He couldn't wait any longer. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It took a little longer than we thought, but we did it.
Democrat Connor Lamb declared victory after midnight in the race for a vacant Pennsylvania seat in Congress Republicans had held for years. But GOP candidate Rick Saccone is not giving up.
We're still fighting the fight. It's not over yet. We're going to fight all the way to the end.
He trails Lamb by fewer than 600 votes, with hundreds of absentee ballots still being counted. House Democrats have more to say about the Russia probe. They claim Republicans on the Intelligence Committee are ending prematurely. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the committee, says he's not giving up on the panel's investigation into possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia.
We are going to do our best to continue our work. There are individuals who want to cooperate with our committee and share information, and will continue to do so.
Republican Congressman Mike Conaway released a majority report on the investigation, stating they found no evidence of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy. Dave.
Rachel, scientist Stephen Hawking has died, famous for his theories on time and space, finally succumbing at age 76 to the ALS that left him paralyzed for decades. At schools across the country, students calling for stricter gun laws plan to walk out this morning at 10 o'clock in each time zone, 4 weeks after the Parkland, Florida high school shooting spree.
My inclination at this point is to not have my child participate because it's a complicated issue.
Her child's at an elementary school in Nashville. In Kuna, Idaho, instead of a walkout, there'll be an assembly, and students will march through the high school halls.
Something needs to change, and we really want to use that to build unity within our school and to just create that change.
A teacher in California, who's also a reserve police officer, is on leave after the gun he was using in a firearms safety lesson yesterday went off accidentally. Falling debris injured 3 students. Fox News, fair and balanced. 24 degrees in Chicago. Some clouds, winds west at 6 at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Mayor Emanuel blasting Governor Rauner for vetoing a bill that would require already tightly regulated retailers to get state licenses. AM 560's David Stewart has more on Mayor Emanuel's reaction.
Governor Rauner says the bill would burden small businesses without improving public safety. But Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says it would help.
With the governor's veto, it'll be that much more difficult for law enforcement throughout the state to stem the flow of illegal guns into our neighborhoods.
Mayor Emanuel said Rauner is putting his primary election ahead of public safety.
And rather than lead, as the governor says he's not in charge, he took a step back for all of us.
Emanuel says he's already talking with lawmakers about a possible veto override. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Protesters are still looking for more answers after a woman was shot and killed this week by an Elgin police officer along the Jane Addams Toll Road. Elgin Police Chief Jeff Svoboda telling demonstrators yesterday that a person will probably get shot if they come at one of his police officers with a knife. Bail remains at $1 million for former Vernon Hills High School soccer coach. She is accused of sexually assaulting 3 students. Lake County judge denied a motion yesterday to reduce bail for Corey Beard. Several additional potential victims are being interviewed. Former treasurer of a suburban Chicago food pantry has pleaded guilty to stealing from the nonprofit. In pleading guilty, Kenneth Spaeth agreed to 2 years probation and paying about $14,300 in restitution to the Kendall County Food Pantry in Yorkville. Bears getting some free agent weapons for Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback. They tend to sign wideout Taylor Gabriel to a core already bolstered by Allen Robinson. Tight end Trey Burton about to agree to a 4-year contract. DeAndre Jordan had 29 as he sailed over the Bulls, along with his L.A. Clippers, 112-106. Blackhawks back on the ice tonight against the Jets. Radford and St. Bonaventure advancing to the field of 64 after the NCAA tournament play-in games last night. The news service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only ends 3/24. Exclusions apply at Staples. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder says it's time to end the Russia investigation.
Talking to you, I have smelled alcohol on your breath.
Well, I have not had a drink.
You haven't had a drink, so that's not.
No.
So I just, because it is the talk.
Is this a joke? For 13 months, the Democrats have been looking for smoking gun of collusion. 13 months! They found nothing.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes.
You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
I'm having that 6:59 feeling again.
What?
You know, that mini panic attack right before the workday starts when you're sure you've forgotten something?
Nope, that's my favorite time of day. I work with Cintas, so I always know we're ready for the workday. They handle our uniforms, fire extinguishers, first aid, safety training, floor mats, and restroom supplies.
I think I need to call Cintas.
They might just make a morning person out of you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
7:06. Let's get an update on your morning ride to work in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Traffic is at a standstill on 8094 westbound from Chase Street to Caliban Avenue. One right lane remains blocked there to clean up an earlier crash involving 2 trucks. Eastbound traffic moves well. Edens is 24 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, about 22. Bell Kennedy, delays start at Cumberland. 48 minutes now. O'Hare to downtown. 23 from Montrose, 16 of the Express. Outbound 15 minutes to Montrose, 31 to O'Hare. About Eisenhower. Jammed 25th Avenue to Damon. 55 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Mount Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 38 from the Tri-State. Outbound 36 minutes to 355. Inbound Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, 80 to the merge. Bishop 428. Northbound Tri-State. Slow Archer to 75th. From the Stevenson to 47th. That's from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, sluggish. Maple to the Reagan Tollway. The other tollways are fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny to partly cloudy and milder. High 47. Tonight, mainly clear, low 29. Sunshine tomorrow, high 43. Mainly clear night tomorrow night, low 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Some clouds and 24 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And United Airlines is slowly, methodically, apparently attempting to depopulate the world of cuddly animals, Amy.
Yeah, they sure are. I'm sure you've seen this. This is trending on social media, and there's a lot of us animal lovers blood boiling. This has to do with a 10-month-old, black, really cute French bulldog who was traveling with his owner from Houston to New York. This happened Monday night. And right before they took off, this woman settled in. She has a child around 11 years old, and then she has a newborn baby and a puppy. And the puppy was in a TSA-approved pet carrier, and the flight attendant suggested, and not only just suggested, said, you have to put that in the overhead bin. And the question is, this morning, did she know that there was a dog inside there? Because some passengers are now saying, I don't know if she realized the dog was in there. But
how could she not know that there was a dog in the carry-on?
That's right. I'm not believing the flight attendant's story, because the dog was barking after they put it in the overhead bin and then shut the compartment. And the dog, upon arrival in New York, the mother took her dog out and unzipped the bag, and the dog was dead, died. It was suffocated. So 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA is our turnkey.pro text line. What should happen to the flight attendant? Because I think she should be charged with animal cruelty.
You want her criminally prosecuted?
Exactly. I want her to lose her job.
Uh-huh.
Because that is the dumbest mistake. The fact that a person is supposed to be protecting us in case of an emergency on an aircraft, and she thinks it's okay to put an animal in the overhead bin.
United
that's a problem.
United responded by accepting responsibility for the flight attendant's error. This was a tragic accident that should have never occurred, as pets should never be placed in an overhead bin. We assume full responsibility for this tragedy, express our deepest condolences to the family, and are committed to supporting them, whatever that means exactly. We are thoroughly investigating what occurred to prevent this from ever happening again. Well, obviously a flight attendant made the incorrect directive, and then the passengers improperly complied without pushback, right? I mean, you take a dog on the plane.
Right.
Shouldn't you know that you don't? Shouldn't you know what the airline's rules are, so that if this controversy comes up, I mean, I understand they're in that they're the authority, but should this situation come up, say, Miss or Mr. whoever the flight attendant is, your policy is don't put animals in the overhead bin. You put them underneath a seat or whatever.
Underneath your seat or the seat in front of you.
And so and then when the dog is barking, then what about that? Why doesn't anybody open the bin and tend to the dog when it's barking?
It's the time that you wish sensible people were on the plane. That is one flight I wish that I was on, because if I heard that dog barking in the overhead bin, I would have jumped up right away and taken the dog out and let the flight attendant know this is similar to putting somebody in a refrigerator. There's no oxygen. You cannot breathe. You're going to kill this animal. It's just so stupid that none of the passengers, too, helped. And one person on Twitter last night said, I blame the mom. She should know better as a dog owner that that if you put your animal up in the overhead bin, that they're going to die. And I said, I'm giving her credit. Look, she has her hands full. She has a newborn baby.
She tried to give
an 11-year-old daughter, and then this was the dog.
And she tried to give the bulldog that passed away. She tried to give him CPR.
Yeah, passenger June Lara wrote that there was no sound as we landed and opened his kennel. There was no movement. The family called his name. The family started screaming. I held her baby as the mother attempted to resuscitate the 10-month-old puppy. She was rocking back and forth in the aisle. Inconsolable.
Some of the last moments were captured.
I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
It was a talking dog.
Oh, really? So instead of carrying, their pup off the plane, they carried their dead dog off a plane. Have you seen the pictures? I mean, look at this. How do you let that? And this just questions their hiring practices in general. If they can hire a flight attendant who's stupid enough to think a pet can go in an overhead bin, what about their pilots? What do they have going on over there? I just don't trust United, and honestly, I'm done flying United. Who's with me? 312-642-5600.
Boycott United and imprison everybody.
Well, she should face animal cruelty charges.
Nah, I don't think so. Not criminal charges. Should she be disciplined for failing to carry out her duties, improperly for this mistake? Yeah, she should be disciplined. Should she face criminal charges? Was this a reckless act of negligence? I mean, there's not really evidence of that at this point. It would have been different if it said we're not going to put him up there because he's going to suffocate, or she had some malice of forethought that she was targeting this bulldog for elimination. But this was.
You guys don't like bulldogs.
Well, nature's cruelest joke. But this was not. There's no evidence to suggest there was any maliciousness here. This was a bad call that was made by a flight attendant, assented to by the family and, frankly, the surrounding passengers who paid no attention to his barking. That's my view. And here also, it's a reminder, as usual, I have the solution to this problem so it will never happen again.
What?
Obviously, I assume we all fly first class or privately. So you have an extra seat for the dog.
You can't fly first class with an animal unless they're a service dog. Trust me, I know the rules.
Buying the seat. This is where Mr. Hayek Proft sits.
Oh.
And you have a nice flight. You got your companion with you. Maybe he likes his martini a little dirtier than you like yours. I go Hendrix with a twist. He's more of a Kettle One man with the olive oil, with the olive juice.
Yeah.
Blue cheese, by the way, of course.
Of course, blue cheese stuffed olives.
It's
a must.
Yeah, he's not a barbarian. And that's how you do it. And then you avoid these complications. But when you're packed in steerage, anything can happen.
And bulldogs can't be checked. Like if you read the rules for United Airlines, even if she wanted to check the dog underneath, in the cargo area, you can't do that. They will not transport bulldogs, whether they're French or English.
Well, and
because
this
they
is,
have breathing problems.
and
clearly, this dog had a breathing problem. We'll find out next. His name is Bubbles.
well, so, by the
I don't know
way,
what the dog's name is.
so did that Flemish rabbit. I mean, this is another kill on United's.
That bunny
list.
died in Chicago. They brought it back flew from London to Chicago. Chicago was supposed to be transported to Iowa to their state fair because it was this anomaly, this 4-foot-long, beautiful Flemish rabbit. And he died, too, from asphyxiation.
Nobody tried to resuscitate him either.
Nobody cared about the little rabbit.
Andy in Hanover Park.
You never let a good opportunity go to waste. They can take that dog and ship it to the teacher that fed that puppy to the turtle.
It's true. Thanks for the call, Andy. This is the teacher in Idaho.
Yeah, and the teacher...
All right, bring in the turtle.
Okay, real quick. The teacher brought this biology teacher that everyone loves, decided it was a good idea to feed a live puppy to a snapping turtle in front of kids.
Allowing children to watch an innocent baby puppy scream because it is being fed to an animal. That is violence.
Let me tell you something.
That is not okay.
Let me tell you something, Toots. That little puppy wasn't so innocent.
You stop. Well, but they're defending his actions because they said that the puppy was sick and deformed and was going to die anyway.
If it was a deformed puppy and it was going to die anyway, Cross is very much circle of life.
He's the best science teacher Preston Junior High has.
I appreciate hearing from Ruth Marcus at the Washington Post on this topic.
That was a parent, and her daughter watched the little puppy get eaten by the snapping turtle. They've also said that this biology teacher fed guinea pigs and hamsters to snakes.
Mutual of Omaha presents Preston Middle School's 7th grade biology class. Rob in Ukrainian Village.
Hey, we have a dog. We love our dog. We care about our dog. But, I mean, we're talking about a dog. It's not a baby. It's not a kid. It's not a person. If I talk to my dad or my grandfather about this and with any sort of, they'd laugh me out of the house. Like, we're talking about a dog. But I guess dog lives matter too, hashtag.
That's right.
You know what?
Thanks, Rob. You may have a dog, but maybe you don't love him enough.
You know what, Rob? Dog spelled backwards is God.
That's a
let that sink in.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that one, Rob?
Probably not, Rob.
Ralph in Rantoul.
Yeah, I flew back. Good morning, by the way. I flew back from Maine with 2 live lobster in a big styrofoam box that I put in the overhead bin. And they were still crawling around when I got to Chicago. And I was concerned about their livelihood because they needed to be alive so I could cook them alive and eat them after I got back. They were tasty. And maybe the flight attendant was in culinary school, wasn't looking at the dog like a pet. Pet, food, confusion.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
French bulldogs
Thanks for
are
the call, Ralph.
expensive. They're like $3,000.
What?
French bulldogs are about $3,000. That's average price. If you want to go top line, you're looking at $6,000.
Would you pay $3,000 for a French bulldog?
No, maybe.
Oh, you would, but you wouldn't pay $3,000 to save your dearly departed cat.
Oh my God!
Is that true? Is that true or not? I mean, since boy,
that's actually Justin's cat.
So, but I mean, since we're throwing people in jail, Amy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't make me feel bad about this. It was up for to diagnose the cancer, and then the treatment was $3,000 to $5,000, and then they still didn't think she was going to live after that. There's no guarantee. She was in pain, Dan.
No, but you took all the guesswork out of it, didn't you?
I'd like to say she was old. She looked like she was 18, but she was only 8.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe 5. I don't know. It gets blurry.
Yeah, I wouldn't. When you're prosecuted, I'd ask for a bench trial. I would not take this case to a jury. Just a little legal advice for you. David in McCook.
Hey, guys, I got the perfect solution for that science teacher. We could throw him in a cage with a jaguar and let the students watch.
Circle of life, David. Yeah, thanks for the call.
Did you say circle of life? In the circle of life. Come on, who wants to go to school today? Puppy get eaten alive.
I'm coming for you, Simba. Kevin in Northfield.
Relating to the poor United Bulldog,
This was not an example of autoerotic asphyxiation. It was an example of airplane dogmatic asphyxiation.
Thank you for the call, Kevin, and the rim
How
shot.
did this turn into a joke?
He's remembering Michael Hutchins.
Oh.
He still hasn't gotten over his passing. He wanted a few more In Excess albums. No, but you were very upset about this.
I was. And I took to Twitter, and then people were blaming the mom. And I'm just so sick of everyone blaming mom. It's not mom's fault. She did what she was told. Clearly, she had her hands full. And, you know.
I'm not. Obviously, the flight attendant made a mistake. United Airlines will.
Fessed up to it.
Yeah, fessed up to
They're
it.
going to buy him a new dog.
Yeah, at
and
minimum,
this one's
I'm
going to
sure.
be called Dr. Dow.
Yeah. Maybe they'll buy him a Flemish rabbit, too, as a kicker.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Who let the dogs out?
Lock the dogs in.
Oh, exactly.
Could be a Baja Men follow-up.
Sunshine today with some high clouds, but it will be mild. It will warm up around here. We have a whopping 24 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 47. Tonight, a low of 29. And for Thursday, plenty of sunshine and a high of 43. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Near South Side, Blue Island Avenue is blocked off. Roosevelt and Racine, some TV filming till 6 p.m. Northwest Indiana, it's jammed still on westbound 8094. Chase to Calumet Avenue. Crash cleanup has the right lane blocked. Eden's 24 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 23. Kennedy, 48 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 31. And Von Eisenhower, delays start at 25th. 55 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 34. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 36. The Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 428. Tollway delays for the northbound Tri-State. Archer to 75th. The Stevenson to 47th. From the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial congested, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, if you're a doctor looking to secure financing on a new home with no money down and no PMI, then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg and the Team Hochberg mortgage experts to secure information about the Team Hochberg Doctor Program. This amazing loan program is available to medical doctors who have at least an MD, DO, DDS, or DMD degree and an employment contract. Medical doctors including dentists, podiatrists, ophthalmologists, veterinarians who qualify can purchase a home with no money down and no PMI. That's right, no money down and no PMI. David and the mortgage experts at Team Hochberg are one of the few lenders to offer this exclusive and amazing loans to doctors. So if you or a family member is a doctor and would like more information about this outstanding loan program, do what I did and call David at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. David and his Team Hochberg helpers can help you because they've helped thousands of AM560 listeners. But guess what? They can't help you if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358, NMLS 19186.
The following is a paid political announcement.
You can handle the truth. Here it is. Bruce Rauner betrayed our party and won't change. From income tax hikes and property tax spikes to sanctuary state and Chicago bailouts, Rauner's term has been a disaster. We make a change now, or you put Illinois in your rearview mirror. From the farm to West Point to the State House, I've proven I'm the real deal. Don't be afraid to make a change. If you want a conservative governor, vote for her. I'm Jeannie Ives. I'm asking for your vote.
Paid for by Ives for Illinois.
Hear that? That's the sound of a quality solid door from Competitive Door and Supply Company. Doors that serious contractors use for everything from hospitals to schools to warehouses. Not the hollow stuff you find at the big box home improvement stores. Solid core wood doors made out of oak and birch, steel doors, and custom orders ready for installation. Call Competitive Door and Supply Company, 708-366-0194. And for a limited time, get free delivery.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These drugs are commonly prescribed for depression treatment. 2018 can be the year you win the war on depression.
New year, new you.
Drugs for depression can be dangerous, have side effects, and really just mask the problem. TMS therapy treats the source of your depression. Cure or remission is here. HBR centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee. Millions have been treated, and the results are outstanding.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive.
How does it work? TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate mood centers, causing long-term medication-free relief. It's FDA cleared and covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. Make the call, ask questions, bring an end to your depression. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Who let the dogs out?
No. It's somewhere morning. Amy's in morning. Text from the Amish texter. Next time that family should travel with a peacock.
Yeah. They didn't put the peacock in the overhead bin. Oh, actually, they didn't let the peacock on the plane.
Exactly.
But they did let Delta Airlines 2 Thanksgivings ago let a support turkey on the plane.
Is this more or less egregious than Spirit Airlines making that young woman flush her hamster?
This is worse.
That was Spirit, wasn't it?
That was Spirit Airlines. Yeah. And that was before she got on the plane. They had her flush it in the toilet.
That's dramatic.
You know what? They're both gross stories. I mean, what is wrong with people? When does common sense prevail? Is there any common sense left out there?
Look, if that had happened, I would have never allowed that to happen to Hayek. But if it had happened, just hypothetically, I would be like Stallone in First Blood. I'd burn the whole town down. So I understand the people are upset.
Yeah.
Jennifer in Wheeling.
Hey, you guys, I called yesterday about the voting thing, but as I sit here and I listen, I don't have any kids, but my dog is like my kid, and I don't plan on having kids. So I know I may not be an expert on this, but just because somebody might be in a role that is perceived to be higher than us or in an authority role, the same thing. Or even with a lab coat, a white coat, like the Milgram experiments, the Stanford experiments.
Yeah.
We don't have to do what they say. We can question it. I mean, me, for one, I would never take an animal on a plane. There's no way in hell with all of the things that I've heard, animals perishing, and who in the world would put their animal in a overhead compartment?
Well, thanks for the call, Jennifer. Question authority. Baby. Challenge authority, Amy.
No, but the poor woman, look at her. She's got her hands full. She has bags everywhere. She's got an 11-year-old, a newborn, and then a puppy. And
don't allow the Borg to assimilate.
Compliant.
Don't allow the Borg to assimilate you.
Fight back.
Donna in Crown Point.
Dan and Amy, hi. It's Donna from Crown Point.
Right.
I, in 6th grade, had a teacher that had a boa constrictor, a Florida king snake, and we used to take care of these animals, feed these animals, live mice, rats, and it was a learning experience, and no one thought it was gross or evil back in, 1984.
Right,
I
until
think that people are out of their mind when they put an animal on the same level as a human.
Yeah, but that was right until little Johnny got squeezed to death, wasn't it, Donna? Bye, Donna.
Oh, and real quick, a Bubbles update since this is an animal segment.
Yeah.
Remember I told you about Bubbles? That was that.
He called. He misses you. All right.
Stop it. Well, I called Mike's Pet Shop yesterday in Spring Valley, California, because nobody else.
Because you got nothing but time on your hands.
Well, I was worried because once I heard the dog story, I'm like, well, is Bubbles alive at least? He was that beautiful 4-foot-long lizard.
Yeah.
That's the store's mascot. Well, he was found safely over the weekend. Thank you. Bubbles was found 2 blocks down the road in a ravine.
Was he eating a bulldog?
No, he was. They said he was shaking, like he was scared because he's never been out in the wild. He couldn't defend himself, so he was missing for like 6 days. But Bubbles has been reunited with his owner,
All right.
and he was very happy. And he thanked me for calling for being concerned about Bubbles.
Yeah, well, it's a nice story.
You don't want to blow off the Bubbles story.
Well, if they decide to go on vacation together to celebrate their reunion, please don't fly United.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to conservative Republican challenger to the incumbent governor. She is Jeannie Ives. She joins us at 7:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunrise, 24 degrees in Chicago. The National School Walkout is today. Some students at about 3,000 schools plan to walk out of class this morning to protest gun violence on the nation's campuses. The walkout is expected to begin at about 10 and last about 17 minutes. Democrat Connor Lamb is claiming victory in a Pennsylvania congressional election that is still too close to call.
You did it! You did it! You did it!
Lamb facing off against Republican Rick Saccone in a special election in Pennsylvania's 18th. That House seat is up for grabs, you may recall, because of the resignation of Republican Congressman Tim Murphy. A Kentucky police officer killed in the line of duty overnight. Officer Scott Hamilton was shot late last night while helping state police investigate a crime in eastern Kentucky. He had been on the Pikeville Police Department since 2006. Physicist Stephen Hawking is dead at the age of 76. He wrote many books, but one was a bestseller, the 1988 Brief History of Time. Federal court upholds a ban on sanctuary cities in Texas. 3-judge panel on the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a tough 2010 Texas immigration measure. Among other provisions, that law gives Texas law enforcement permission to ask for a suspect's residential status during routine stops. Protesters are still looking for more answers after a woman was shot and killed this week by an Elgin police officer. Protesters met with Elgin Police Chief Jeff Swoboda yesterday. Bail remains at $1 million for a former Vernon Hills high school soccer coach accused of sexually assaulting 3 students. Several potential other victims are being interviewed by authorities. Bears grab some free agent weapons for quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. Along with Allen Robinson, they're about to sign wideout Taylor Gabriel and tight end Trey Burton. DeAndre Jordan, 29 and 18 rebounds. Clippers beat the Bulls 112-106. Radford and St. Bonaventure advancing in college basketball's NCAA Division I tournament. Play-in wins in Dayton last night. The news, a service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print or marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24. Exclusions apply at Staples. 7:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white.
honest to goodness,
we are so crazily down the rabbit hole.
I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop by a Subway restaurant for the new double meat signature wraps for just $6.99 each. Prices may vary. Additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
So you've heard me talk about Calitrin for the past couple of weeks, and every time I run into someone, they ask me, hey, does Calitrin really work? So here's the deal. It does, and it's not just about weight loss. The weight loss part is great because it's a long-term process, not an overnight quick fix, and the weight will stay off because you're doing it right with Calitrin. But also, you'll feel great while you're losing the weight because Calitrin helps to rev up your metabolism. That means you'll sleep better and you'll experience less pain in your joints and back. That's what I've experienced after taking Calitrin for several months now. And you can get started with Calitrin today. Just call this number, 833-TOP-LOSS. That's 833-867-5677. 833-867-5677, or go online to toploss.com. That's toploss, TOPLOSS.com. And when you do, make sure you use the promo code Amy to receive that 10% off your order today. Again, that's toploss.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The delay has only grown on 8094 westbound. It's jammed from Grant Street now to Calumet Avenue. Crash cleanup has a right lane blocked. It was 2 right lanes, but the traffic's only gotten heavier. Eastbound, it's okay. Tri-State Tollway northbound, it's slow 95th to 75th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway slow from the Fox River to Wyola. Veterans Memorial from before 75th with the Reagan Tollway. Eden's 22 minutes like Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. Kennedy, an hour from O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35 minutes. The Eisenhower's an hour and 6 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 39 minutes. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic is also a service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase. You spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24, exclusions apply. Staples, traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny to partly cloudy and milder, high 47, clear and 29 overnight, currently 24. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here, Pennsylvania 18. What does it mean? We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And Jeannie Ives is up with her closing argument ads on television. You hear them on our station, too, in the breaks. But a more interesting closing argument, I think, and another interesting closing argument, was made by Tom Morrison, who's been on the show before. He's a conservative Republican from Palatine. He's also one of the most respected legislators in the General Assembly on both sides of the aisle because he's a person of integrity. He's out walking for Jeannie Ives, and he filmed a little impromptu Facebook Live post.
Hello, everyone. It's Tom Morrison, walking door to door here in Palatine. We're not fazed by snow or sleet or any of this. We're trying to elect my friend for governor, Jeannie Ives. And the information that we're passing out deconstructs all these just shameful Rauner TV and radio ads trying to take her words out of context, distort her record. It's so easy to deconstruct these arguments if you actually know the facts. Look, I'm supporting Jeannie Ives because she's the real conservative in this race. She has the endorsements of me and 9 other state legislators from across the state. Republican organizations, conservative organizations are supporting Jeannie Ives. So many of us trusted Bruce Rauner in 2014, and he really let us down these last 3.5 years, and that's why we're supporting her. There's been no greater fighter for taxpayers or families than Jeannie Ives.
All right, and with that intro, we're pleased to be joined again by State Representative and Republican candidate for Governor, Jeannie Ives. Jeannie, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, Dan and Amy. Tom Morrison is such a blessing, and he's just been a real leader in this campaign.
And so what about he's responding to the sole argument that Rauner has offered against you for the past 8 weeks and $20 million worth of backing of that argument that you're Madigan's favorite Republican?
Well, look, you don't have to trust my words. Trust what everybody else says who's been watching my work down there. They all know it's laughable. I mean, even Greg Hines said, Rauner gets the Oscar award for the most deceptive campaign lie this season. So just listen to what others say. You don't have to depend on my opinion. It's just not flat out right. It's not true.
So yesterday was the last debate before the primary, which is next Tuesday. And Governor Rauner, I noticed, was a no-show. You had the floor all to yourself. Any reason why he wasn't there?
Well, he doesn't want to talk about his record because he has no record of accomplishment. And quite frankly, he doesn't want to answer policy questions because he'll be embarrassed, just like he was before the Chicago Tribune editorial board. That was a pretty scathing debate that I had with him there. And, the headline coming out of there said that I crushed him. It's because he does not know his policy, and it matters to people.
Yeah, well, one thing that he did do yesterday, he did veto the state's gun bill, but I noticed that he did it far, far away from Chicago media. He was on a radio station downstate and said this.
That gun dealers are already federally licensed. That is true.
And, obviously, I watched you on Channel 7 too. You agreed that that gun bill should have been vetoed. But do you think this is all political?
Absolutely. It's just political expediency on his part. This campaign, and myself specifically, boxed him into a corner on that gun bill. He had to veto it if he was going to even have any chance on March 20th, which we think he's done on March 20th. But this is what he's done all the time. He'll never signal to you what he's going to do. So he refused to fill out the NRA survey in 2014. He didn't fill it out in 2018. What you see with me, though, is like I will tell you ahead of time exactly how I feel about an issue. And I'm not going to hide behind a downstate radio station where media can't respond or ask any targeted questions. But this is Governor Rauner. He's just ducking and hiding from the voters at every turn, never tells you what to do, what he's going to do. And I guarantee you, he will sign those other gun bills. So he's getting ready to, betray everybody else on the Second Amendment.
Yeah, there was a change because he said he would deal with the legislation after the primary initially. That was some of his initial offerings on the topic of what he was going to do on that gun bill. And then yesterday he hastily announced that he was going to veto it, and he vetoed it. So this is, to me, it seems like another, because his internal numbers must be wobbly, this is a way for him to try and snow gun owners the way that he initially snowed so many people when he ran for office.
But Dan, this is a perfect example of who he is and how we've seen him over the last 3 years. He's been back and forth on every major policy decision. The caucus, the Republican caucus, who's closest to him and understands what's going down in Springfield. First the education bill is a disaster, and then he signs it, and his buddy Rahm says, "I got everything I wanted and more." The Exxon bill, the morning of, up to 10 amendments because Governor Rauner couldn't signal how he really felt about things and kept waffling and waffling. Finally, they get it to a point where he gets boxed in again and signs the darn thing just to say he got something done. So the guy, he has no core, so you don't know where he's ever going to go on policy. He's just a transactional politician, just like Democrats have been.
Yep. So you're on the driveway home. This is the last weekend before the election. What are your plans? Where are you traveling? Where are you trying to get the vote out?
We're going down south today. I'm so excited. We're headed to the Metro East area, just outside of St. Louis. So we're flying into Cahokia. We have a meeting there at 11:30. Then we're headed to Marion right afterwards. I'm meeting with some voters there at about 3:30. Then we're flying up to Champaign, and we'll be there from 6 to 7:30 at the airport there. And then finally we'll end up in Rockford at about 8:30. Just connecting with voters outside of the Chicago area because we did Chicago media for the last 2 days, just trying to let people know who we are. and where this campaign is headed.
Story out yesterday. There's been a number of stories by the Edgar County Watchdogs that we've talked about in this show, but hasn't really been picked up in any significant way. Capital Facts picked it up yesterday. But it's about emails that they have from Diana Ronner, and the latest is perhaps the most damaging. It prompted, actually, the Edgar County Watchdogs to file a complaint with the Inspector General, the Office of the Executive Inspector General, against Governor Ronner, essentially accusing him of using state resources for political purposes, which is one of the bases on which a couple of former governors went to prison. And I wonder if you have a comment on what Ronner's response is, kind of any OEIG investigation will comply with, but there's no merit to this. Based on what the Edgar County Watchdogs have reported about these emails where you got political people directing state people, it would appear, what comment do you have in terms of what the governor should do or not do?
The governor, every single email that has both a political staffer of the Governor Rounders and a paid state employee on the same email chain should be released immediately. I'm alarmed at the fact that he would even put the same political staff in the same meeting room with state employees. That's alarming to begin with. I mean, as a state rep, I would never do that. I would never do it. I can't believe the governor is so open about doing it. And then the emails, and obviously they're also coming from his wife. I mean, she's the one even propagating some of this.
Well, and the interesting thing,
it's very alarming.
And the interesting thing about the email that the Edgar County Watchdogs used as the frame for their most recent story is you have Diana Ronner is the emailer, and then the recipients include both political consultants and state employees, but they're using state employees' private email. So this is a way they were trying to essentially end run a FOIA and discoverability, but the Edgar County Watchdogs got the email anyway, and if there's a handful of those, as they've reported, then there are many more.
No doubt. And just the handful that we have already is actually cause for the complaint that the Edgar County Watchdogs put forward. And, even after Marashka wrote his memo saying, look, you are really crossing the line here, potentially violating ethics laws in the state of Illinois, even after that, you find out that when you look at the timeline that's reported in the complaint, that sure enough, Ronner is officially signing the K-12 school funding bill, which was definitely something that Diana and political consultants weighed in on to help save the governor on that bill. And then he signs the abortion bill. And then he makes a comment about repeal and replace Obamacare, which for him is politically advantageous on how he responds to that.
He didn't want it.
Even after he's warned, you see actions being taken. So there's a lot of missing emails there about what happened.
And on the Obamacare, he didn't want Obamacare repealed and replaced.
That's right. That's right.
So when you travel, and meet people throughout the state of Illinois and in DuPage County and Cook County, what's their number one concern? What's their point of contention?
Well, for Republicans, it's largely the sanctuary state bill, taxpayer funding of abortion, and just people just don't trust Ronner anymore. He's not somebody that he said he was going to be, and just wholesale disregard for what he's been doing to the state. So it's a trust issue for Republican voters on March 20th.
You mentioned the education funding bill and how Diana Ronner intervened to help prop him up. But that was a bill you voted against. Why is that? Explain to people your perspective on that ed funding bill that he counts as a success.
Well, there's a couple things. One, Chicago got a massive bailout, and they have $17 billion in debt. And what's going to happen over time, really, is you're going to find suburban schools, downstate schools are going to see their school money actually siphoned off through the state funding formula, and it's going to go to Chicago to bail out their massive debt. The other thing is that they never correct the assessment problem. Chicago is hiding enormous amounts of property wealth from the education funding bill. And we told Ronner 3 years ago, you have to fix this assessment system. It's foundational to a fair education funding formula. And if you don't fix it, you've fixed nothing with education. And he failed to do it. He didn't lead on the issue, even though we gave him a program to do so. And so he's not fixed anything in education. He's just basically bailed out Chicago.
What the one of the political arguments that Rauner and the kind of defenseless Rauner supporter makes against you is that Rauner's the only one who can beat J.B. Pritzker because he's the only one with the big checkbook. How do you respond to, Jeannie Ives can't win a general election?
Well, first of all, we're going to win March 20th, and Rauner had a big checkbook, and we're going to spend a fraction of what he has in his war chest. So I think that people are ready for the truth, and when it comes to J.B. Pritzker, what he's selling, what the Democrats all want, which is higher taxes, more spending, and they're going to continue the corrupt nature of Illinois government as it's been for decades. We can message that past their money and past their money spend. And people are going to just look past the fact that, here's the deal. With me, where I stand on every issue. With J.B. Pritzker, you have no idea. All you know is that, he likes to pull the toilets out of his second mansion to get a property tax break. And, he's buddies with Blagojevich. And he's got all these other nefarious contacts with state government that has destroyed the Illinois economy. So we think we can message past that. We're going to prove that the grassroots actually can take back their state, and it's not going to take a billionaire to do so.
So, you're essentially saying this is what something like I want to say, and this is about stoking the revolt against the ruling class, like we've seen throughout the Midwest.
Precisely. And nobody believes that any of the Democrats, or Rauner for that matter, is going to really transform Illinois in the way that we need to. Look, worst run state in the country, second year in a row. Largest out migration, second year in a row. Look at the Florida job creation. Florida has gained since 2000 well over 1 million jobs. Illinois' growth in that time, 21,000 jobs. That's pathetic for the fifth largest economy in the United States. So, people are leaving the state of Illinois, and nobody's talking about the real issues except for this campaign, except for me. And nobody believes any of the other candidates are going to actually transform Illinois and lead really the revolt like you talked about against the political ruling class.
So what's the question?
I've already done that.
What's the question you want to implant in Republican primary voters' minds when they go to the polls on March 20th? What do you want them to be asking themselves and answering, affirmatively, Jeannie Ives?
They should ask themselves, are you proud of this Republican governor? Are you proud of the job that he's done? And then, are you proud of how he's ran his campaign with lies and deception? Those are two important questions for Republican voters to answer. And I think on March 28th, when they go into the ballot box, they're going to vote for Jeannie Ives.
All right. She is Jeannie Ives, Republican candidate for governor, state rep from Wheaton. Jeannie, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, conservative, Christian, Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Liberal Erica Harold can't be trusted to protect our children. An NBC5 Chicago investigation revealed that, quote, Erica Harold said that she would place a child in the care of known child abusers. That's right.
Harold chose the child abusers.
Illinois families can't trust Erica Harold to be our next attorney general. Child abuse is wrong, and Erica Harold is wrong. Our children and our state deserve better than Erica Harold.
Paid for by Citizens for Gary Grasso.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Just a week away, just about, from Beyond the Talking Points, when I'll sit down from Donna Brazil, across from Donna Brazil, and debate her on all the issues. It's March 22nd at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows. Tickets are on sale at 560answer.com/beyond. But right now, if you're caller number 6 to 312-733-6993, we got a pair of tickets for you. 312-733-6993. Call 312-733-6993 to win a pair of tickets to see me take on Donna Brazil March 22nd at the Meadows Club in Rolling Meadows.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, things are shifting over at the White House. Who will be the new economic advisor? We'll start there with Stephen Moore. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, activists calling for a new police oversight board. Mayor blasting the governor for vetoing a gun licensing bill. The Bears bolstering their receiving core. Sunny to partly cloudy today. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Students across America are getting ready to walk out of class demanding safer schools and stricter gun laws. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I don't think it's a political issue. I think people just need to be better to each other.
His school in Kuna, Idaho will have an assembly, and then they'll march through the halls, but many other students will walk out. Fox's Tanya J. Powers live outside some schools in New York City.
Dave, I'm here at the Brandeis campus in Manhattan, where in about an hour, students will march outside in memory of the 17 killed in Parkland, Florida, but also in protest of gun violence.
This is an actual problem, and that teens and people in schools are really upset.
Now, some students will remember those killed by reading their names aloud. Others will carry signs to raise awareness. In some parts of the country, schools have told students they will be suspended if they participate in the walkout.
Well, Tanya, in Florida, 4 weeks after the shooting in Parkland, Nicholas Cruz, the gunman, he'll be in court arraigned on murder and attempted murder charges. He could get the death penalty. They're still counting in Pennsylvania, but Democrat Connor Lamb already declared victory in the race for a vacant U.S. House seat Republicans had held for years.
Tonight, we celebrate regaining our voice and our vote.
Republican Rick Saccone vowed to keep fighting to the end. He trails Lamb by about 600 votes. Americans were a little thriftier last month. Retail sales were down slightly, 0.1%, as we spent less on cars and bought fewer things at department stores. Famed scientist Stephen Hawking has died. Renowned for his search for answers about the universe and teaching us about time and space, all while paralyzed, suffering from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. When he was first diagnosed, doctors gave Hawking 2 years to live. He lasted 55 more, dying this morning in England at the age of 76. His family says they'll miss him forever. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Partly sunny skies and 24 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. School districts in the Chicago area readying for today's planned national walkout to protest gun violence and pledging for safer schools, as AM 560's David Stewart reports.
The idea for a 17-minute walkout was prompted by the students from the Florida high school where a gunman killed 17 students and staff members. Chicago Public Schools have given their tacit approval to the protest, while many Catholic schools plan prayer sessions and discussions. In the suburbs, some schools are designating walkout areas to ensure student safety, and others have scheduled speakers, moments of silence, and other activities. A few schools, though, are saying students face discipline if they join the walkout. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Romeoville has scheduled a week's worth of activities around the week, but are warning parents that students who walk out of class will be considered absent without excuse while they're gone. An investigation continues following a large crash on a bridge over the Des Plaines River in Joliet. It involved 11 vehicles, 7 were hurt. Activists are calling for a new Chicago Police Oversight Commission. While gathered at City Hall yesterday, the Grassroots Alliance revealed a proposal for a commission with the power to fire the city's police superintendent and set department policy. Mayor Emanuel did not say whether he backs that board. The Bears are signing some new weapons for quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. Taylor Gabriel ready to sign a new deal, along with a core already bolstered by Allen Robinson. Chicago will also sign versatile tight end Trey Burton to a 4-year contract. DeAndre Jordan, 29. Clippers beat the Bulls, 112-106. Radford and St. Bonaventure on the college level advancing in the field of 64 after the NCAA tournament play-in games in Dayton last night. The news service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only, ends 3/24. Exclusions apply at Staples. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Walmart wants to be your grocery delivery service. The chain will be offering home delivery of groceries in 100 cities by the end of the year. Online grocery orders will be packed in a Walmart store by company workers and delivered by a third party, sometimes an Uber driver. Walmart is currently offering grocery deliveries in 6 cities. Its delivery will cost $9.95 and there's a $30 minimum. Broadcom will scrap its offer to buy rival chip company Qualcomm. President Trump blocked the deal because of national security concerns. Reuters says Broadcom's board met on Tuesday. However, Broadcom says it will continue with its plan to move its headquarters to the United States. Analysts say Broadcom can still be looking for smaller companies to buy. The Dow closed down 171 yesterday. NASDAQ dropped 77. S&P lost 17. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Hey guys, Mike Moylan of Smart Money Talk. And I'm his co-host, Rob Curvin. Join Robert and me each week for intellectual discussions on your wealth acumen.
Translation? Join us each week for Smart Money Talk with Mike and Rob.
Smart Money Talk brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, helping you achieve financial security.
Send your questions to smartmoneytalk.net. That's smartmoneytalk.net. Then start your morning with Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and me, Rob Curvin.
Saturday mornings at 6, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services. Oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Supan Shah. I approve this message and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshahforcongress.com.
It is 8:07. Let's get an update on your ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. In northwest Indiana, it's still brutal on 8094 westbound with the jam from Grant to Calumet Avenue. One right lane is still blocked. Clean up an early morning wreck. Eden's inbound. Lake Cook Junction is 22 minutes. Outbound 27. Kennedy, an hour. O'Hare to downtown. 43 minutes from Montrose. 33 in the Express. Outbound 18 minutes to Montrose. 36 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower has delays starting at North Avenue. It is an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown, 49 minutes from Manheim, outbound 45 to 390. Stevenson an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36 minutes. The Ryan 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays are from 95th to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway heavy 31 to Washington. Veterans Memorial, Boughton to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, sun and some clouds, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour for the afternoon, high 47, mainly clear night, low 29. Full day of sunshine tomorrow, high 43, and a mainly clear night, low 25. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
24 at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Townstone Financial Show, Saturday afternoons at 1. Nobody values your mortgage business like Townstone. Listen and call for the best advice.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, a lot of matters economic to discuss, tangentially and as well as directly. Personnel choices for the president to make, most notably to replace Gary Cohn as his top economic advisor. Border security, economic policy with respect to trading partners, the tariffs and the exemptions from those tariffs.
A new branch of our military, the Space
Space Force. How are we going to finance our Space Force? I've suggested that Nathan Fillion, who commanded Serenity and Firefly, would be a good choice to head up that Space Force. And then your former paramour, Admiral Adama.
Right, I suggested him.
Yeah, he could command Space Force One. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got a lot of slots to fill, is the point, in addition to the foreign policy team shakeup. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Stephen Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, CNN senior economist, Heritage Foundation economist.
All-around good guy.
Nutrier graduate. Steve, are you going to be at Nutrier today to join in the walkout and the T-shirting?
Oh, my gosh. Is that what they're doing?
Of course.
I mean, it's just not the same school I was at 30
you.
years ago. Good to be with you guys. I do think that I got a news flash for you. I think that Larry Kudlow will be the next National Economic Council chairman.
Your dream has been realized.
Yeah, you said that last week that you're pulling for him.
I know, but I think it's getting closer. It's not a done deal yet, but I feel it. I think it's coming, and you've heard it first on the Dan and Amy show, but I think it is going to happen in the next 48 hours, and I think it'll be awesome for the president. And I'm a little biased. Larry was the best man at my wedding, but he will be an awesome advisor to the president. He will communicate. Is there a better communicator of economics than Larry Kudlow?
No, he's great.
He helped put together the tax plan. I mean, I'm just so excited about this. I hope it happens.
But here's the thing. He's against tariffs, isn't he, just like Cohen was?
He what?
Isn't he against the tariffs?
Well, that's a problem, isn't it? You know, and the president, you know, he had effusive praise for Larry yesterday, but then he said, well, we don't always agree on tariffs. So that'll be, you know, an interesting development about assuming that Larry does get the job. You know, what I hope that Larry could do was, you know, push Trump in, you know, a more positive direction on this. I am one who, and I think Larry would sort of agree with me. Yeah, get tough with China. I mean, it is time to get tough with China. They're cheating. They're stealing. A report just came out last week, I think it was, or a week or two ago, that China is now stealing about $500 billion a year. $500 billion a year, $500 billion a year in our technologies and our computer software, our music, our technologies, our patents, our copyrights. They just don't honor them, and so we spend billions and billions of dollars to produce this stuff, and China just steals it. That can't stand. And maybe we do need tariffs to get tough with China. But you know, I think that Larry had a big impact in getting Trump to walk away from the tariffs on, you know, our allies like Canada and the UK and.
Well, yeah, but
Mexico. So we'll see. But you're right, Amy. I mean, this is an area where they get to disagree, but on most other things, they are in full agreement. And you know, I worked with the two of them during the campaign. We didn't have a lot of agreements except for on trade.
Well, look, the exemptions that are being much ballyhooed by free marketeers.
Right.
You know, they say, oh, so he's just positioning, it's just leveraging. See, look, he's exempting Canada and Mexico. That's a good thing. Well, okay, but this is also a lesson for proponents of tariffs generally, because now the higher prices paid by U.S. consumers for steel and aluminum go to three places. Higher revenues for U.S. steel and aluminum producers, higher revenues for the U.S. Treasury, because it's a tax, and higher revenues for Canadian and Mexican steel and aluminum producers who also benefit from the higher price.
Well, I mean, there's some truth to that, Dan. I mean, you got your economics right. So this is a perfect solution. This is not a perfect solution. But I do think, by the way, I think Trump is going to announce sometime in the next few months a very tough tariff policy against China. I mean, China is a bad actor on the international scene right now. They've facilitated the North Korean nuclear program. They not only facilitated it, they encouraged it and enabled it. They, as I said, they're stealing. I mean, why do we let that happen? I mean, what we produce more and more of in the United States is not steel and aluminum. We produce intellectual property. The amazing things that are coming out of Silicon Valley and startup companies in Chicago that are developing, intellectual property. And that if that's what we produce and everybody's stealing it from us, then how can we make money? How can we continue to thrive? So I find myself in favor of a very tough position with China and some of the other bad actors on the planet, like Russia. But I'm worried. I have to tell you, in full disclosure, I'm worried about what's going to happen with NAFTA because Canada is not negotiating with Trump, and I know Trump. If he doesn't feel like there's progress being made, he's just going to throw up his hands and say, "Okay, we're out of here." You've got Trudeau, who's the president of Canada, who is a moron. He's an idiot.
Yes,
he's like a Bernie Sanders guy, and all he wants to talk about is climate change, and he doesn't want our states to have right to work laws and things like that. So look, this is a turbulent time for trade. There's no question about it.
But he looks better in traditional Indian garb than does Hillary Trudeau.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Steve, let me ask you this: if Kudlow gets the top economic advisor post, are you going to backfill his radio show and compete with us?
I just want to do. This is going to be so cool. I mean, I think it is going to happen. I think, you've got a rock star in there now helping Trump on, the free marketeer. I mean, the Kudlow creed, right? It's, the best path to prosperity is free market capitalism, and he is right about that. And it's just he's an old Reagan guy. He helped do the Reagan tax cuts. He helped he and I helped write the Trump tax cut. And I'm just you can tell I'm really excited about this because I think he's going to be a real asset to the whole country.
Yeah. Have you spoken to him? I mean, he was.
I talk to Larry every day. He's my best buddy, and he's psyched for this, and he's hand rested and ready to go. So I think it's
like Nixon in
it's not
68.
official yet. But listening to Trump yesterday, it sounded like he was like it's 98%.
Do you think he'll find out via Twitter whether or not he got the job? I mean, that's what's happening. Come on.
Probably. I guess that's how Tillerson found out, right? That he's
so
out.
Cruel.
Well, Kudlow.
Thanks for stopping by.
Kudlow is that would be an exciting pick. That would be a very encouraging sign. If he
I
did
got to
pick
say
him.
one other thing, if I may. About this. I'm on fake news now, as you guys know, CNN, and their whole thing is crisis and chaos at the White House. It's all chaos, and the truth is, look, Trump has people in his administration, and then, if he doesn't like what you're doing, you're fired. I mean, that's his persona. And this is not, chaos is not the right word to describe this. I mean, this is kind of creative discretion, right? This is what a businessman does. If he likes the job you're doing, you stay. If you disagree with them, or
when it's too much turnover, too much. I mean, H.R. McMaster's probably next. John Kelly. Now there's talk this morning of moving the VA secretary out and putting Rick Perry in there.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that's a little?
I mean,
it's a lot.
That's a lot of chaos. There's been a lot of turnover, no question about it. But I'm saying, better to get the right people in there at the right time. Look, I actually think Gary Cohn, who was the NEC director, was the right. I was opposed to him at first, but it turned out he was a good choice. He was a great manager. He got the whole office set up. He put some really good people in there. He helped get the tax cut through. Now, it's Larry's turn to sell the message to the American people about how well this economy is doing, and there's nobody better. The main thing is the U.S. economy is in an incredible boom period right now. I mean, you saw the jobs report last week. Unbelievable, 350,000 new jobs when you include the upward revisions. Wages are rising. I would refer people to the piece that Larry Kudlow and I had yesterday in the Wall Street Journal called "Who's Afraid of Higher Wages?" I mean, we're starting to see middle-class Americans really benefit for the first time in 20 years from the economic policy in Washington. And isn't that what Trump promised?
Okay, so it's all the turnover is all Schumpeterian in nature. Fine. I want to move on to something Hillary said.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use that. It's creative destruction, right?
Yes, exactly. You can use that. Just attribute me. One opportunity Larry has right away is to pick on something a colleague of yours, Jason Willick, wrote in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. And this, I kind of missed this with Hillary's comments in India over the weekend. But he makes a great point about how Hillary talking about winning voters that represent 2/3 of the GDP production in this country.
Oh yeah, I'm writing a piece on this right now.
That it is such an opportunity for the Republican Party to take the common man mantle, which no longer belongs to the Democrat Party, back permanently.
I completely agree with you. It was such an arrogant thing to say, and what does this harken back to? Remember her famous statement in the campaign. The deplorables, right? The people who don't vote for me and people who don't believe in the liberal cultural and economic agenda are deplorable people who are, xenophobes and homophobes and, racists and so on. And she keeps saying she didn't really mean that, but she did mean it, right? And that's the way liberals think about middle-class America today. They think that liberals believe that they're culturally and intellectually superior to working-class Americans. And you know what? They're not. They're not. And she was wrong factually. She kept saying, the dynamic places in the country voted for me. And then she pointed to states like New York, Connecticut, and Illinois. Well, those states are losing all their jobs and their people. The dynamic places in America today are Texas and Tennessee and Florida and Utah and, the mountain states. That's where the action is. And so she had a complete back-asswards. And so I am right. I'm glad you brought that up, Dan, because I'm writing my latest column on this saying, wait a minute, the places that she won are the places that are losing jobs and losing people, and unfortunately, Illinois is one of them.
He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist. Look forward to that forthcoming piece. CNN senior economist, Heritage Foundation economist. Steve, thanks for joining us as always. Appreciate it.
Okay, see you guys. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Well, coming up next, Wilmette masturbation and what can... Well, that's what you just said to tease. You put it in front of her, she's going to read it.
I mean, you can't masturbate at the police station. You
I
can do whatever you want in the
that.
privacy of your own home in Wilmette.
And later,
Draw those lines.
What made Mayor Emanuel cry? Cry like a schoolgirl. Today, sunshine, some high clouds, mild, but we have to get through this cold stuff. It is now 23 degrees. What is going on? Going up to a high, though, of 47, we hope. Clear tonight, a low of 29, and for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, 43 for a high. Any high travel times? Let's get the latest information from Jim Telemonte, the big boss over there at the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Well, thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. It's still a big mess on 8094 westbound. Grant to Calumet Avenue is back up. There's a crash at Calumet. Which happened early this morning. Right lane still blocked to clean it up. Eastbound I-80, the exit to Center Street, now closed till 3 this afternoon. Some road work. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, quicker than the Express, outbound 35. Eisenhower, an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown, 49 minutes from Manheim, outbound 45 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 33 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 22 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 425. Tri-State has southbound delays from 190 to the Bensonville Bridge, northbound Archer to 31st, and from the Reagan to North Avenue. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, when it comes to good health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested recently. They make it quick and easy. You walk in, take a simple blood test, and with the convenience of their on-site laboratory, you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can even raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low testosterone levels in men. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For decades, our country has lived through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Our factories were shuttered, our steel mills closed down, and our jobs were stolen away and shipped far away to other countries, some of which you've never even heard of.
And who's responsible for those lost jobs? Career politicians. Senator Joe Donnelly profited from Mexican labor, and Congressman Todd Rokita and Luke Messer, they voted to fast-track Obama's trade deals. Donnelly, Rokita, and Messer let Indiana jobs go to China and Mexico and sat on their hands. We can't trust them to bring good jobs back. Businessman Mike Braun, conservative, Christian, Mike Braun will help President Trump make America stronger than ever before.
I'm Mike Braun. I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Esther, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782 on insurance.
Liberty did what?
I know. It's a lot of money, right?
What'd you say?
Liberty Mutual saved me $782.
Visit us online to get a quote.
What?
I said, visit us online to get a quote, and you can save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Are you still talking?
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
AM 560. The Answer.
Amy, I know you're interested in this story. Just so you know, in case you're ever yanked into the Wilmette Police Department.
Yeah, what is the story you keep wanting me to tease?
For running a stop sign or something in Wilmette.
Trying to get me in trouble?
They take a very hard line as it pertains to public masturbation. Cautionary tale, Tyrone Smith, he's arrested, and felony charges have now been approved for public indecency because of his record. They found Mr. Smith exposing himself inside the lobby restroom at the Wilmette Police Station.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
I think that the music that was playing at the Wilmette Police Station kind of got him in the mood. So that's contributory.
So, I'm sorry, where he was in the, where? The waiting room?
The restroom.
The restroom.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta go. Hey, yo!
It's a very hard line that the Wilmette Police have drawn.
Well, officer walked into the bathroom and they're like, hey-oh.
Well, he was in there for a while, and since he was being detained, they were a little concerned about him, and they went in there with their flak jackets on and they're protective.
Did they offer him a piece of pizza to stop?
And protective eye gear. So you have to wear that. And they found him. Yeah, no, that's the Cook County Jail approach, right?
Yeah, tell people.
Remember they were having a problem with inmates at Cook County Jail masturbating on public defenders. And so they tried to solve that by buying them pizza.
Yeah, Mike Scott.
But it didn't stop because I said 2 toppings. And
I wanted extra sauce on that one.
I got your extra. Okay. All right. You're just disgusting.
Is there a calendar? Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to former NFL All-Pro Burgess Owens, the author of the book Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. I love the alliteration.
Apropos.
We're going to talk to him at 8:38. Jason Riley's got an interesting piece in the Wall Street Journal. I want to get his comment on 50 years of blaming everything on racism. That's at 8:38.
But first, into the newsroom we go. Do you have anything to add to the pizza story, Mike?
I was disgusted when I heard the story. All those female public defenders that were offended by that, and the Cook County dragged their heels on that, too. Sheriff Tom Dart and the chief judge should have done more to impact that quicker, sooner, and faster.
The good news is, though, they did get them all organized to vote this week. That's the good news.
Yes, they did. If you see all the signs out there, 24 degrees, cloudy skies, winds west at 6. Some students plan to walk out of class. Thousands of schools this morning. The demonstration aims to demand stronger gun safety laws and to honor the 17 students and teachers killed in a school shooting in Florida last month. Each of those walkouts are expected to begin around 10 a.m. their local time. Democrat candidate Connor Lamb is claiming a win in a closely watched special election in western Pennsylvania. 99% of the votes counted. Lamb holds a roughly 640 vote lead over Republican State Senator Rick Saccone. Lamb telling his supporters they wanted real solutions.
People want to be heard. They want to talk about serious things and honest solutions, not be drowned out by dark money, distorting the truth, and telling lies to our children.
President Trump won that district by 20 percentage points. It's been Republicans for a little over a decade. Britain expelling 20 Russian diplomats this morning, saying they're operating as undeclared intelligence officers. The action comes after Moscow ignored a midnight deadline to explain how its nerve agent was used in the attempted assassination of a former UK double agent. A Kentucky police officer killed in the line of duty. Officer Scotty Hamilton was shot late last night while helping the Kentucky State Police investigate a crime in Pike County, Kentucky. Mayor Emanuel blasting Governor Rauner for vetoing a bill that would require already tightly regulated gun retailers to get state licenses. Rauner saying the plan is good political cover, but likely won't stop anyone who shouldn't have a gun from getting a gun. Investigation underway after a man was shot by a Chicago police officer in the Bridgeport neighborhood. It happened in the 2800 block of South Throop Street, and officers say they were met by a woman who said her husband was in a back room with a large knife. Officers tased that man before he was shot in the leg. Stephen Hawking spent a lifetime studying space and time. Now the stars are paying their respects. The world-renowned theoretical physicist died yesterday at the age of 76. The cast of CBS's Big Bang Theory, who appeared with Hawking in 7 episodes, said it was an honor. They thanked him for inspiring the world. Chicago sports, Bears surrounding quarterback Mitchell Trubisky with some new free agent offensive weapons. To a core already bolstered by Allen Robinson, they're going to sign wideout Taylor Gabriel and tight end Trey Burton. Clippers beat the Bulls 112-106. College hoops, Radford and St. Bonaventure advancing to the field of 64 after the NCAA tournament play-in games last night. The news service of Staples. Staples can help your business stand out with custom printed signs, banners, and brochures. Now at Staples, get $5 off your next print and marketing services purchase when you spend $50 or more. Standout materials equals outstanding results. Offer in-store only. Ends 324. Exclusions apply at Staples. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes we're living in crazy times.
Senator Chuck Schumer of New York doesn't like the president's recent judicial appointment because he's white. Honest to goodness,
we are so crazily down the rabbit hole.
I just hope and pray for my country that we will somehow, someday, come back to some sense of normalcy and reality and common sense.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Stop by a Subway restaurant for the new double meat signature wraps for just $6.99 each. Prices may vary. Additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Illinois is a Democratic state. It's got a fake Republican governor.
Tucker Carlson is right about Rauner. He's a fake Republican. An income tax hike and property tax spikes, sanctuary state, and radical left social policies. Rauner's tried to cover it up with lies about me, refuted by conservative leaders and even the media. We either make a stand now or we turn Illinois over to Chicago Democrats and fake Republicans. Don't be afraid to make a change. If you want a conservative governor, vote for her. I'm Jeannie Ives. I'm asking for your vote.
Paid for by Ives for Illinois.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action to make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner, and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 8:36. Let's check our roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy Expressway inbound. It's stop and go from Lawrence to the Burns Circle. It's 58 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 48 from Montrose, 39 in the Express. Outbound 17 minutes to Montrose, 35 to the airport. Edens is 22 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 25. The Eisenhower's an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown. 49 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 45 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, heavy southbound Montrose to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State stop and go Wadsworth Road before Stearns School Road. Reported crash. Farther south is heavy from 190 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound delays Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. So to Reagan Tollway sluggish, Farnsworth to Eola. Veterans Memorial slow. Fountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Westbound 8094 still jammed. Grant to Calumet Avenue. Right lane is blocked after a crash. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny to partly cloudy, a little milder day ahead, high 47. 29 overnight and 43 tomorrow. Currently 23 at O'Hare and 26 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Amy, this story comes to us from Campus Reform. The University of Minnesota has invited the distinguished anthropology professor from Beloit College, one Lisa Anderson-Levy, to have a grown-up conversation about whiteness on campus, how whiteness is an existential threat to the United States. She argues that whiteness is violence. What are we going to do with the white people then if the very fact of being white is violence?
More shaming.
Intrinsically violent. We're going to have to do something with these white people. I wonder what these deep thinkers in the hallowed halls of academia have in mind. Jason Riley, our friend from the Wall Street Journal, has a good op-ed over the weekend. 50 years of blaming everything on racism. And he actually dates back to former Illinois Governor Otto Kerner, and like most former governors, he went to prison, who provided the Commission on Civil Disorders report 50 years ago, last month, 1968. The report, as Riley recounts, blamed urban unrest, black urban unrest, and white racism, segregation, official neglect, all of which were meant to explain the racial inequality that persists today, because that's the argument that continues to be made. The Kerner Report's most famous assertion was that the U.S. was moving toward two societies, one black, one white, separate and unequal, and desegregation essentially was not successful in remedying the inequalities. So where does that leave us in 2018, 50 years after the Kerner Report? Well, to help us answer that question, we're pleased to be joined again by Burgess Owens, who, first and foremost, former NFL All-Proer, Super Bowl champion, 1980 Oakland Raiders. Don't you forget it. He's also the author of Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps, which is one of the best book titles I've ever heard. Burgess Owens, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
And Dan and Amy, I'm looking forward to chatting with you once again. Absolutely.
So what about the assertions that were made by Jason Riley in his piece in the Journal about kind of 50 years of blaming everything on racism and it sort of just freezing time, taking the findings of the Kerner Report and just continuing to make the same arguments despite a lot of changes that have occurred over that 50 years?
Well, first of all, Jason's article is spot on, as are most of the black conservatives out there that understand a little bit about history. What I can't emphasize enough as we've had this discussion is that we're in the fight for the heart and soul of our nation, and it is not black and white, as the leftists would like us to believe. It's actually our Judeo-Christian values and pride in our history, understanding our history, versus the Marxist socialism and atheism, which would love to divide us and love for us not to know what our history is all about. And there's a really quick backdrop with this whole thing about whiteness. I've never seen this bold racism that's actually being promoted and accepted by both blacks and whites who would love to divide us. For those who want to continue to apologize for our past history, let me suggest you do a little history, do a little study, get Google a little bit, and understand that our country is the greatest in the history of mankind because of what we've done together. And as individual cultures, what we've done. The black community in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, early 60s, led our nation in terms of the growth of our middle class, led our nation in terms of men committed to marriage, it was 70%, led our nation in terms of entrepreneurs, 40%, led our country in terms of men committed to higher education. So it's not that we, by the color of our skin, cannot produce or compete or win. It's policies, it's democratic, socialist, Marxist policies that's been put into our community that's allowed misery to be a strategy, a policy. And you see it in Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Ferguson, any places leftists run and reign, you see misery. So don't blame it on this color of our skin. Blame it on the policies that put together by an ideology that hates our nation.
So, Mr. Owens, how do you feel when you see a Black Lives Matter sign?
Well, what I recognize, because I just had a chance to experience this last week, understand about Marxists and socialists, their beliefs, they're not there to try to find solutions. They're trying to silence. The first thing they'll talk about is their safe space, as they're taking away everybody else's safe space. At the end of the day, the way we win as a nation is we debate, we talk, we educate ourselves. We sit down and try to figure out solutions, even though we might not agree on everything. When we have a common goal, which is how do we improve our nation, how do we improve our races, how do we improve our people, if that is a focus, the goal of our nation, then we'll come up with the right solutions. Unfortunately, with socialists, it's always class over race, class over country. And so you're never going to have the solutions from these Black Lives Matter people. First of all, they've not been educated. They've been turned into little Marxists. And so they're not going to come up with answers. They're going to come up with a lot of anger, pointing fingers, and asking for excuses and apologies.
How do you react to the apparent relative close and continuingly close associations between a bunch of members of the Black Democrat members of the Black Caucus in Congress and Louis Farrakhan, and the media's effort to basically ignore this story, even as we find Keith Ellison, the deputy director of the DNC, deputy chairman of the DNC, lying about his continuing relationship with Minister Farrakhan, including, as confirmed by another fellow Farrakhan friend, Andre Carson of Indiana. So you basically have these 8 legislators, at least, all members of the Black Caucus, that, and as well as some organizers of these women's marches and so forth, the PHAT marches and so forth, that are basically running cover for Louis Farrakhan's virulent anti-Semitism.
Well, I understand, again, when I start off talking about the fact that it's not a black and white issue, it's truly an ideology that we're fighting for the heart and soul of our nation. One thing about the Black Caucus, and I need to make this very, very clear, we've had in our history of our race a fight against white supremacists. They have not been able to do a thing against us other than get us motivated, focused, and winning. That's what happened when we go up against those guys. The greatest threat we have is a race or these black elitists. It's the black Congressional Congress, these Marxists who vote every single time they can against the progress of our race, where they sit and they live a very good life. So that's the first thing. First of all, don't expect very much of the Black Congressional Caucus. They haven't done anything for 50 years and they never will. The other part of it is I'm asking, where are the black Christian leaders?
Mm-hmm.
We have our race being turned into racist while we sit back and watch it happen silently. For those of us who believe there's a God in heaven, believe in Jesus Christ, there are Christians that are supposed to put our faith before anything else. It's time for us to stand up and man up. We have our young people being turned into racists by people like Farrakhan and other racist people. One thing I can say this, I grew up down south. Racist people are not very happy people. And the worst thing we can do is become one of them. So I'm very disappointed in the black ministry quote that did so well in the 1800s, early 1900s by standing up for our race. They're not doing it. They're failing us big time. So either leave the pulpit or find your guts and let's stand up and, for the right things and tell our people where we find our truth and happiness. And it's not following people like Farrakhan.
For those of us who don't remember your background and what brought you to conservatism, was there something in particular that happened?
Yeah, well, actually, I grew up down south, and I believe at the core of our race is a conservative base. Most black Americans have a conservative foundation, but we've been trained in radical or been trained to vote for Democrats. I was one of those. In college, I voted for Democrats, Jimmy Carter, but what happened was I left the NFL, and I got into business myself. I failed big time, and I began to realize that this is the one place you can start all over again. This is a place where you have hope and dreams. You can develop a network of people, black, white, it doesn't matter what the colors are, and everyone will help you as long as you're doing your best in trying to bring value to the plate. So I realized, first of all, that we have a party that's been anti-black from the very beginning. The socialists, segregationists, slavery, everything you possibly think of that's been against our race, the Democratic Party has been the genesis of that. So when I realized that, I became a conservative, and I'm now one with a very big, large capital C, to say the least. I love our country. I love the values that our Judeo-Christian values traditions brought to us. And I think as we focus on that as a people, what we, the people, have done throughout our 200-year history has been remarkable. If we get back to that, we'll win this fight against this evil ideology, socialism and Marxism.
I want to just punctuate something that you're talking about. You mentioned with the great black entrepreneurs of the 60s, too, representing 40% of the entrepreneurship at the time. You're talking about your career as a successful businessman. And I was on a panel discussion here in Chicago recently, and you had a black Chicago alderman, a black columnist for the Chicago Sun-Times, and their only answer to the highest black unemployment rate, the highest black youth unemployment rate in the country here in Chicago was, one answer was just to say jobs, jobs, jobs as much as she could in the time allotted. The other, the politician's answer, was to say we need a Marshall Plan for the urban center, so it's kind of more government spending. So I just want to get to kind of your message to young people, to people that have not been availed of opportunities in urban centers like Chicago, and the message they get from the left is always government is going to come in and spend money on you, spend money on your community, and that's your path out. And I think you're saying something very different.
Dan, that's a good. First of all, especially appreciate that question. The 40% that we used to be when I was coming through is now down to 3.8%. It is not. It's not because of anything but Democratic policies. Davis Bacon Act back in 1932, the minimum wage, all these things that keep our young people in the messaging. We're not telling our kids that you need to have your own business. And if we don't educate them, 75% of black boys in the state of California cannot pass a standard reading and writing test. This is as of last year. These kids cannot even begin to think outside the box if you're not educating them. So the problem is that we have a elitist group of people, aldermen, the Democrats, and they could care less about the solution. So my suggestion is very simple this. We need to tell our kids, first of all, if I can do it, you can do it. My greatest occupation of all the things I've done, football player, entrepreneur, corporate environment, my greatest was being a chimney sweep when my business failed back in 1990. I did it for 3 months because I was going to do whatever it took. And that's what our young people need to hear. Whatever it takes, get back up, man up, do what you have to do, educate yourself, and dream big. If you do that, things will come your way. It's just the way it is. We have a God in heaven that truly blesses us if we try to do our very, very best and do it honestly. And if we tell our kids that, they will begin to realize that these Democrats are the worst thing that's happened to us since the KKK. Matter of fact, the KKK only lynched 4,000 people. The Democrats have killed over 20 million of our black kids. So we have ourselves a problem. We need to wake up and understand who our enemy is. And it's not a black or white issue. It's an ideology. Marxist, socialist, and what is it? Atheist.
He is.
So that's what our fight is.
He is Burgess Owens, former NFL All-Pro for the Oakland and Super Bowl champion with the Oakland Raiders, successful businessman, chimney sweeper, and author now, Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. Burgess, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work. Let's do it again.
Take care.
And he played for the Jets, and he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Liberal Erica Harold can't be trusted to protect our children. An NBC5 Chicago investigation revealed that, quote, Erica Harold said that she would place a child in the care of known child abusers. That's right.
Harold chose the child abusers.
Illinois families can't trust Erica Harold to be our next Attorney General. Child abuse is wrong, and Erica Harold is wrong. Our children and our state deserve better than Erica Harold.
Paid for by Citizens for Gary Grasso.
Raj Shah, host of Secure Retirement Radio.
I spoke to one person and, I asked him a simple question is, what do you want to do with your retirement? And he said, I want to protect it. Because if it does go down and not come back, do you have enough time in the market to recover those losses?
Tune in for Secure Retirement Radio with Raj Shah, Chicago's safe money strategist. Sunday mornings at 7 here on AM 560, The Answer.
Looking to secure a mortgage? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Abby, millennial, purchasing a home. So her father, Sal, recommended she secure a Team Hochberg approval before speaking with a realtor. Abby naturally consulted with her friends who've never purchased a home before and applied online. Abby called her dad because the online lender wasn't responding to her emails. Sal told her to stop messing around with the online lender and call Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help his daughter. We approved Abby to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg's real estate experts found Abby the perfect home. The internet's great for purchasing socks, shoes, and underpants, not mortgages. When securing a mortgage, you can either waste your time getting terrible service from online lenders, or you can call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com.
Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Old Man Winter is here, and you'll need a heating and cooling company you know you can depend on. Look no further. That company is the original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. They're not one of those massive impersonal companies with inexperienced technicians and subcontractors. Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling sends only their own highly skilled technicians. From service to installation and everything in between, their work quality and customer service is the best. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling keeps homes and businesses comfy and warm. Call Carrie at 847-545-1700 or visit arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. Mention AM 560 and receive 20% off your first service call. That's Carrie at 847-545-1700 or online at arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, just the best.
AM 560, The Answer.
A little interesting internet meme about today's walkout. How about walk up, not out? Walk up to the kid who sits alone and ask him to join your group. Walk up to the kid who never is a voluntary partner and offer to be hers. Walk up to your teachers and thank them. Walk up to someone and just be nice. If someone had ever done that to me, walked up to me as the outcast, then I could be a nicer person. but that's past now.
So it's too late. I
It's too
can't
late.
walk up to you now and say, change your ways,
Too late.
Mr. Prof.
The
I need to take a picture of that because I want my sons to
when
see
I never got a Valentine's Day card every single year.
and didn't go to prom 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I went to prom for you.
The die was cast.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's over for me.
Thanks for, and the show's over too. Thanks for making us part of your morning, Justin Kosick, our technical producer, our associate producer, Quinn McCarthy, and our executive producer, the one and only Keith Conrad. Now let's jump into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Sunshine and 25 degrees. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Illinois schools are